Gentlemen, welcome to tonight's action, the hot spot for Overwatch. We are here for the fight for redemption. Thanks to ELO Hell Esports, I am Shadow24, and joining me for tonight's action is a good friend of mine, Chef Billy. Billy, how you doing?
Oh, I am doing fantastic. I am so excited to be here. This is my first time getting to see this
Yeah,
side
this is
of
new for me
GitGud.
too.
Oh, woo-hoo, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, you talk about the hot seat, but this really is the hot seat for these teams. Our format tonight is a real serious one-off. Basically, what these teams will be doing is facing off in one map, one control point, not the entirety, not all three on Nepal, just a single Nepal point, say, or a single Lijiang Tower point. The tick rate will be increased to 70%, and the winner advances, the loser is being knocked out of the tournament. So, final team, each one, they earn their spot in the playoffs. I mean, this is action at 100%. They're not holding back. It's control point. It's brawly. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I really want to see how they aggress onto these points. We were talking about this before we went on the air. We both agree. We think we're going to see a lot of dive coming out of the teams here, and that's exactly what we need to see. Also, Symmetra could be a useful hero here to try and get that speed out there, get onto the point, and start getting your progress going.
Yeah, Symmetra going to be there. Another thing that we talked about are heroes that have quick charging ultimates. Heroes like Moira, Tracer, people that can get an ultimate in a single fight or a fight and a half, because you really aren't going to have many fights with this increased tick rate.
Indeed, we were talking about the Tracer. We were talking about Moira, obviously getting Coalescence fast, using Lucio for the speed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Sombra, the one that you brought up, I thought that was the most impactful one I think that you could have. Once, the speed increase when you're invisible, and then being able to pop out of nowhere, getting a hack, deleting that character, and turning a team fight on its head, hacking and deleting that character, you're going to be in a 6v5 situation. That's what we're looking for today.
Alrighty, well, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into the action, ladies and gentlemen, with Grab 9 versus Barely and Platt as we kick this off on Lijiang Tower. Compositions not very far from what we were expecting. A lot of dive, a lot of mobility. Exploit here on the far, already up to 39% of that ultimate, and that is definitely going to be an advantage in these fights. You only get one or two. First picks coming through, both teams losing tanks. The objective is and there you go, fighting with SB1, finding the kill on the edge point. Not often you see the Reinhardt getting that kill onto the Pharah. This fight is going to last, but I think we are going to see the final take here.
Indeed, I mean, they use the Symmetra stat as I thought was going to come out in the beginning of this. And Quintessence does lose their life with the teleporter, getting their team there. And already almost 60% to the photon barrier. I think that's going to be something that's going to really be a useful stalling technique to keep them off of the point. So, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing right now. They're crossing 14% right now.
Getting taken out fairly early, and when you have point control, you don't want to be losing your memory way off the point like this. As he's trying to respond in some sort of manner, you don't have the members on Barely and Platt able to take this point back, but no, the shatter coming out. Big shatter comes out from SB to keep the team alive on the point. They still have that Symmetra contestant. Bodies are definitely still there. Barely and Platt struggling to take this point back.
Indeed, I mean, looking at what we just saw there, the nano boost wasn't invested by Duncan Nader onto their Reinhardt SB1, and almost 40%. Oh, they still have control at 41% and counting. I thought they had flipped that over, but apparently the kills came through. But you're looking at 3 ultimates coming in from Barely and Platt. FD Boy has the barrage online, has had it for a while. Also, self-destruct, I think, is going to be a very impactful ultimate. But Cesar's does have a sounder to try and keep them up to the leader.
Go ahead and toss in that self-destruct, and finds the Desert. So Barely Platt up on one. Death blossom from Nano, and Nano's going to find both of the supports. Barely and Platt now in a very tricky situation. They have the upper hand in bodies, but there's no healing on point. Cesar's there, dancing around that Lucio, trying to get Grab 9 just a little bit more control percentage.
Indeed, I mean, the kills are coming through. But
Nano.
Nano gets you. Nano gets you. What? Have yourself a 3K there, Nano Genji.
Can we get a name change, please? I believe Nano Reaper has just entered the building. What a play from Nano. The survivability from that Reaper to survive till the end and then go crazy. Insane.
Absolutely. I mean, Shatter's going to be online very quickly for SB1. That is something to look at. And Cesaris did not have to use their sound barrier in the middle of that fight. So that is also an ultimate of economy. You got to love it.
Gotta love it indeed. Look at Ninja Silver now flying above, trying to keep barely in the game at 92%. Grav9 is looking in swell position to take this entire point and move on to their next opponent, Froggy Chair.
I mean, the Symmetra right now is charged to the heavens, and Chubby Fish has Blossom available. Good to drop it right now. He picks up 2, and before he gets taken out by Nano Genji, I think that's going to call an end to this fight, Steidel.
An end to this fight, indeed, and sadly, an end to this point, and an end to the run for Barely in Plat. They are going to get a couple of last-minute stalls, but the focus fire will be there from Grav9, as they're going to put themselves into the next round with this self-destruct. A little bit of a Nano Reinhardt just for kicks and giggles. But yeah, that's going to be it there. Grav9 is going to be moving on to advance and play against Froggy Chair. And what a quick little dip in the pool there for what we're gonna see tonight.
Yeah, I mean the timer is running at 70% normal. I believe that's what we were told.
That's what we were told. It didn't seem like it had too much of an impact on this matchup.
No, it was just clear sailing. And look at the shatter, the shatter, and the swing, the nano boost being invested into that. You know, I love to see the aggression coming out from them. They never really looked like losing the point at any given time.
Yeah, and look at that, Nano Genji getting the gold trophy of all golds. You know, the most important trophy in the game, in my opinion. It's the most important player card.
Absolutely.
So, gleaning from what you've seen Grav9 bring into the arena right now, we are going to be hopping divisions, by the way, guys. While we talk about this, we're going to be moving into our intermediate division with LSFC versus ADM Vortex. So hold tight while we get that lobby set up. But, Billy, now that we've seen what the rookies are bringing to the table, what do you think might change now that we're advancing into the intermediate division?
I mean, I think the skill level obviously goes up. I think the ability to have more mobile characters will also go up. You'll see a lot more Winston D.Va, I think. But, you know, it's all going to be very map dependent. Where are they going to be sent? I think I want to reserve any kind of speculation other than they need to move there fast until we see what map they're actually going to be on. Because as you saw in Night Market there, that's absolutely a perfect time to bring out the Symmetra and get yourself onto the point. But let's say if it's Control Center, do you pull out the Symmetra again there, or do you just rely on the Lucio to aggress there fast?
Yeah, maybe take advantage of a close quarters DPS like Doomfist or Junkrat or Reaper even.
Yeah, I mean, the teleporting is good. You know, the Rocket Punch coming onto the point, getting yourself there fast would also be acceptable in this scenario. I think that you have time, though, seeing how fast that the timer was going. I think you do have time to bring out a Brawly comp if you want to, given the caveat that you have the Lucio to get you there, or using the Symmetra to get you there. I think that you have to get your point on the presence, your point presence there first, and then make the other team come at you, because then you can just
True. And you know, at the lower echelons of play, team fights tend to last a little bit longer. So we saw three solid team fights. The fourth was a little bit lackluster, but a decent amount of engagement in that last fight. So now going into the intermediate division where team fights may be smaller and teams might be getting 5 or 6 fights, that really does change the dynamic we were talking about. We were kind of predicting that, you know, 1 or 2 fights, it's going to go so quickly at 70% that, you know, you're not going to be able to build up ultimates. You're not going to do that. But now that that's the case, does that change any of your picks of like who might be more used?
I really do think it does. I think that you can honestly bring in, if you want to run the double shield, you can. once again, it's all dependent on the map, and
Mhm.
it depends on how fast are you actually going to be able to get there. I think that Lucio, uh, he's almost a must pick right now. I think not only
Yeah.
because of his speed, but also because of the AoE healing that he puts out. He does a phenomenal job at that. Also, the sound barrier to deny the valuation of some of these ultimates that will be coming into a team that's trying to defend the point. I think having that in your back pocket, like we saw from C Source just now, um, that could be a game changer. Having that sound barrier in your back pocket.
Yeah. Not to mention, if anybody tries to go that double shield route and brings out a Sigma, for instance, you'll have something to combat um, that coalescence. I'd like to see some Wrecking Ball. I say this almost every time I get on cast. I want to see more Wrecking Ball. I love Wrecking Ball play. I think it's extremely um, interesting to watch, especially the higher up you get, the more advanced that Hammond tech gets. I would love to see some Hammond.
I mean, I love the disruption that a Hammond brings to the field of battle. Being able to, first of all, have the fastest mobility on the in the game. That's the first thing. Also, the pile driver, being able to stun people up in the air.
Mhm.
Getting into the back line, really creating havoc for them. That's what I really want to see from Hammond. How much chaos are you creating for the enemy team?
Yep, displacement, displacement, displacement. That's the key to it. But as far as DPS go, who are the I'd say what are your top 5 that you want to see before the end of the night?
Legs. I
Okay.
want I want to see somebody lock legs. Obviously, he can sprint. I want to see Sombra. I want to see Tracer. We've already seen the Symmetra and we've already seen the Reaper. So we've seen Tracer, Reaper, and Symmetra. Those are 3
Mhm.
that I think need to be in the mix. Genji could be good with the dash resets. Pharah, it's map dependent with her. So
Yeah, you really do have to have access to the point.
yep, that's DPS for me though.
Okay. I'd like to see Echo come back into the play. I don't think Echo had a long enough moment in the spotlight. I feel like she came out and then the meta very quickly it did its usual thing with the new hero. You work the new hero into the old metas, and those are meta for a little while, but then eventually the old meta kind of works its way back in to the comfort zone, and that's kind of where we've gotten. So I'd like to see a little bit more Echo in play. Torbjorn. I always want to see Torbjorn. Not for the meme. Yes, for the meme. But not just for the meme. For the whole thing. I think that the ever since he got reworked, I feel like he has a really good uh, spot in the meta. Well, hold on. I think we're about to get word on what map we're going to be going to. Let's take a look. It looks like we're going to Nepal, but it's not going to give us the exact point on Nepal. So that being said, going into Nepal, what are you prepping here? Because you've got Sanctum where there's a lot of boopability, but then you've got a map like Village, which is really great for that double shield. What's the thought process here going into Nepal?
I mean, Sanctum. Obviously, you want to run an Orisa. You can even run a Roadhog.
Yeah,
I mean, saving some of the resources from your support core, because I mean he can take care of himself. Looking at Village, I mean you can run the Symmetra again there especially if you get you assert your point dominance and get those turrets worked up. I think that is a good play as well.
yeah.
At the shrine, I would love to see the Wrecking Ball come out there, spin to win.
Oh
Obviously,
yeah,
obviously a good stall tactic, especially if you're one of the better Wrecking Ball users. Getting your grapple up high and kind of doing the sine wave, as I call it. So
yeah.
yeah, I think that's good. You can always run.
Oh,
Right, sorry, yeah. Ooh, you
come
might
on,
get your win.
guys.
You
Come
might
on.
get your win.
I'm giving energy. I'm giving Hammond Wrecking Ball energy to these teams. By the way, guys, just so y'all know, LSFC will be in the blue, and ADM Vortex will be in the red. That's all the energy I've got. So hopefully they've received it. Um, please don't bring up the fact that we're on a delay because I don't. Need my reality dreams crashed.
Oh my goodness. So I hope that you get your wish here. Come on, people. Give us what we want.
I'll settle for the Pharah. I'll settle for the Pharah, I guess.
I like to see that unless they're debating us here, I like the fact that they're both going to run a Rein Zarya here.
I wouldn't be too surprised about this. With the Lucios, you've got the speed boost that you need to get to the point. And, on this specific point, since it is an enclosed area and things get brawly, somebody's going to run the Reaper. I think the Zarya, the Reinhardt, great choice.
I like
Oh. Tengu using the boost out of spawn and then swatching up to the Mercy. So they'll have the pharmacy in play.
Indeed, I like the Ana pick from Rouge as well, or Rogue. I mean, the ability to throw the anti in here is going to be huge should they be able to land a good one.
The anti is such a powerful tool, but you see how LSFC was able to get to the point just a little bit quicker because they had the Lucio for that whole amount of time. That Maywall as well, making it really difficult in this first fight. So important for Vortex to win if they want a chance. So it's up to LSFC to take this first control and get the snowball rolling. And Snow going to be able to find the first 2 kills and open things up as Copycat helps out in the kill feed as well. And there's that early coalescence from the Moira that we were talking about. And that's just going to go ahead and be the final nail in the coffin. LSFC walks away with first control.
Indeed, and I mean, I'm looking at Spearmint running the pharmacy combo. Already has the barrage. Could have actually dropped that barrage, but a huge, impactful coalescence coming out of Convict for LFSC. You love to see it. The ultimate battle right now looks to be very even.
Snow grabbing some cheeky ult percentage there from his hiding spot before going back to the point to help his team defend. LSFC retreating away from the point as the barrage gets released from Spearmint, but the damage is there by the rest of the team. It's as if the barrage was a distraction. The Spearmint's going to find a couple of their own kills there in the back. So ADM Vortex is going to be taking it, and this time we're not going to see a 100-0. We've got to fight.
Indeed, and I really like the nano boost being thrown onto Panini Presser from Rogue, really facilitating that push, and also a huge anti-nade into LFSC. That flipped the point basically by 1 character.
And now he's got that shatter ready for the next fight. So the Rhine mind games begin. There goes the shatter spent out by Panini, but he's going to get blocked and then killed in the process as Snow finds the healers in the back line. But with the Death Blossom to answer, Kiba is there to stop Cobalt from doing anything productive on the point. It's just a matter of time now until LSFC plants their flag.
Indeed, and I'm wondering what Milkshake is looking to combo with this Graviton Surge that they're going to have, because, I mean, I guess you're looking for Spearmint. Yeah, you're looking for the barrage from Spearmint. Kiba does have the Blizzard online and ready to go, and I think, for the defense of this point, I think saving Blizzard until a last desperate moment may be the way for them to turn a team fight on its head and end up getting a lot more capture progress.
Well, with that Graviton definitely nigh, Spearmint working their way around the backside, have the Mercy pocket. There goes the Blizzard getting spent out, but your boy finds Panini Press in the very beginning, and that Pillar is doing a better defense than the rest of the team, able to block a lot of that damage, but the barrage rings true, able to find themselves the kills they need. ADM Vortex will be able to take this point back, but at 86% and the increased tick rate, this could be last fight territory with the Death Blossom on point. Snow trying to make a difference, he finds 2. That allows the Lucio Copycat to get back on point, and Spearmint has to keep things alive for just a little bit longer. Cheeky sleep dart there, but I think the tanks are going to be able to get back to the point just in time, and ADM still have not grabbed control over this point as the shatter comes out, and the kills begin to come through for LSFC.
And Gravit's going to be invested into this, and I mean, what a stall there from the side of LFSC. I mean, we're in the overtime period right now, and kills are going the way of LFSC right now.
Yeah, not only the kills are going their way, but that stall absolutely crucial, like you said. I mean, what a keep from the LSFC.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, the team fights maybe being a little bit shorter here. Yeah, I mean, it was just pure aggression coming in and the stall to be able to hold on to the control there at the shrine. I mean, I thought there was 2 or 3 times that LFSC should have lost, and just the ability for them to stabilize and maintain, and then get everybody back, and then just come through that shatter from I believe it was Robo Eagle or your boy
Yes.
Wings. Sorry, your boy Wings. That
Wings
was
was the Reinhardt.
huge.
Yeah, and then right before that, Snow on the Reaper. I'm sorry, Snow on the Reaper was able to find those 2 kills onto the 2 remaining supports on the point, and even though dying in the process of that Death Blossom, was able to give just enough time for Copycat on the Lucio to get back to the point. And then Copycat, even though he got slept on the point, was able to give just enough time for your boy Wings to get back. And that just continued to happen in that last fight over and over again, to the point where Vortex just, they didn't have the manpower on point anymore to do anything about it.
And I think it was the fact that they didn't run a Lucio, ADM Vortex. They didn't run the Lucio. They ran the Ana Mercy, and the lack of speed there kicked them out of the tournament. You got to say.
Yeah, you know, we theorized that the Lucio was going to be extremely important, and that is ringing true. You could say that ADM Vortex was a bit of wasted potential as we move into our next matchup, which is going to be LSFC versus Wasted Potential. As those guys are getting into lobby, it looks like we're going to be going over to Lijiang Tower this time. It's good for LSFC.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where we go. We've seen already tonight Night Market in our rookie division, and now I'm really hoping that we get to see Gardens, because I think that Hammond, I think that Wrecking Ball, you know, I want you to get your wish here tonight and see the hamster come out.
We've got enough matches that one of you guys, I know for a fact that y'all are watching, teams. I know you're watching, and I know there's a delay, so I might not get my wish this match. But we've got we've done 2, and I think we have 15 slotted for the day. One of you guys is going to be my favorite player. Who's it going to be? The one that plays Wrecking Ball.
I mean, I will agree with you on that. I want to see a double shield come out. I want to see somebody have the cojones to do that.
Yeah.
Running with a Moira Lucio. I think that is going to be your strongest composition tonight across the tiers. Also, I think that instant, and with D.Va, with the patch updates to her, I think she automatically becomes almost a must pick in a lot of these compositions. The speed, the mobility, the ability to now get into people and be able to go after them with the 10% reduction of her movement penalty when she's using her primary fire. I think that's huge, and I think that you can use her now again.
Not only that, but her ultimate on many points, because the point is just an open area, her ultimate can be so good for either stalling things out, or, if you get the early kill onto their shield tank and you throw that ultimate out there, they either have to hide or die. Like, that is extremely powerful, especially on points like Night Market, well, I guess not as much Control Center because it does have the pillar in the middle. But if they get Night Market, D.Va Bomb would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and if you get it high enough, I mean, the pillar really doesn't help you that much. Or even if you landed on top of it, I've seen people just get to the top of that pillar and go ahead and press Q, and it just takes everybody out. So it just depends. I've seen one where they threw it in through the top window and it just came down and
landed perfectly.
Landed it perfectly. So it depends on how good of your skill of launching the peg is.
Night Market. Okay. Night Market. Confirmed. Night Market. D.Va Bomb possible? Wrecking Ball? Not as probable. I feel like if it was Control Center, I might get my wish a little bit, but I don't expect to see the Wrecking Ball here on Night Market.
But have you seen the potential of the Wrecking Ball hanging from the ceiling, doing the chandelier on the top there?
Okay, I've done it. It's amazing.
So you could get your wish.
But I don't expect that to trick guys at the intermediate level.
I don't know. I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good. I think it can
I'm
happen.
fighting against my own dream. Yes, it would be good. I'd love to see it. Do it. Come on, guys.
You also have the environmental kill ability there with the boops, ramming into them when you grapple. I mean, that is also a very real thing. The bowling ball effect, as it were, going for the 7-10 split. So, I mean, you could go there too. I mean,
And is the double boot mechanic, is that still in the game? I
uh,
forget if it's been patched out, because I know it was something that it is
producer
still in the game.
producer said that's still in the game.
Production is telling me that it is still in the game.
Yeah.
Very difficult to pull off. I've been trying to learn the double boop for like 2 months now. The amount of control that it takes to gain the momentum, hit your target, stop your momentum, and then immediately revert to going back up to the top speed. Like that's so difficult to do in such that short period of time.
Ugh. It's so fun to watch, though.
It is. Every time I see it, I'm like, yes, life complete. It makes me really happy. Like on the inside, like everywhere. It makes me very happy.
Very well, very well. So, considering what we saw from LSFC last time, what kind of a composition are we thinking they're going to come out with? Because they showed us Ryan Zarya.
I think they keep Snow. Snow stays on the Reaper. Copy stays on the Lucio. I believe they had a substitution as well. I think there's a new player in there, Uga, the DPS, going over to. Ooh, is Snow going to be switching over? It looks like Snow's going to be switching over to the tank role.
Okay. I mean, I love to see the flexibility of characters when they come in. Copycat is going to stay on the Lucio, though. I think Uga comes in as their Symmetra specialist.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're looking at a Orisa Sigma versus a Rhine Sigma. Both teams showing us right now
There's that double. You wanted double shield. Now you got both double shields. You got all the double shields.
I'm totally happy with this.
I think the big story is going to be Uga versus Odarusa. The Reaper versus the Doomfist.
Yeah, I think the teleporter also not really getting a lot of value as they've already they've already aggressed to the point as LSFC. Ugo's already got
LSFC. Oh wow, a very strong showing from LSFC. A very early shatter right there from your boy Wings. Wow.
That is lovely what you want to see. They got to get this teleporter down in a hurry. What a strike. Oh my goodness. Your boy is absolutely popping off right now. He has no fear. He is sending fire strikes and just swinging the hammer with absolute impunity right now. Good Apollo is going to have his amplification matrix, so they're going to have to watch out where he sets this up. As they're going to try to take this point back, Kiba has swapped over to the Mei now. And I like what I've seen. Convict already has the Coalescence as well, Steidel.
Oh, of course the Coalescence is already up. They had a shatter in the first 30 seconds of the fight. Keeping the back line now, able to find those icicles, and Ugo Chaka. What a great double kick coming out from Ugo at the very end there. And LSFC has just been standing here, and they're in the opposing spawn. They are rubbing it in right now. Wasted potential in a very tricky spot very early on.
Absolutely. I mean, this is showing no respect for wasted potential. Uga Chaka, I can't stop this feeling of seeing the kill feed lighting up red. But let's see what they can do with this amplification matrix.
Questionable amplification matrix. They immediately moved past it. They got used in the back. I think they expected the fight to be off point, but Wi-Fi off point when you own the point. Gravitic Flux is coming out from both sides. Wasted potential. What's that? My lord in heaven, Snow finding a 5k, 6k, they give him the ace, they give him the team kill, ring the bell. What have you done?
Snowcoat.
Oh man, I'm sorry, he's not playing tank, he's still playing DPS.
I mean, perfectly countered against Tangalang's Gravitic Flux. Man, getting the 5 out of that. The Blizzard was also invested into the middle of that, so there was also that ongoing damage with that. Oh my goodness, what an ace by Snowcoat.
Wasted potential now with a massively uphill battle. The Shatter gets blocked. Hulkhammer not able to find the value that he needed from his ultimate, leaving Westerson Savage at 90%, trying to build up those final 2 ultimates as they lose 2 to Uga, and Tangalang gets bumped off the map. Kiba will find themselves a kill as well, and with ult still in the bank, looks like we're going to see Wasted Potential sent back to spawn in dire straits. 8% left.
Oh my goodness! I mean, Convict's gonna have. Hey, here's your
count.
boy.
I'm happy about it, but it doesn't count. Top picks don't count. Man, Uga, the protector of this point.
Oh my goodness! I mean, the last minute contest is going to be in there. Snowcoke is still popping off as we speak. There goes a Gravitic Flux.
No.
Oh, I mean, last minute dire straits here for Wasted Potential. They're going to have to do something to really take it to LSFC here. Uga is proving to be a menace on this Doomfist title. I don't know what to say here.
Not only do you have Uga being a menace on that Doomfist, but every member of LFC right now is doing their job to the T. I mean, that's 2 maps down for the LSFC as they continue the ball rolling. They've now defeated 2 teams. And oh yes, we get to see it from his perspective. Please, Snowcoke, bless us. Look at that, guys. The whole team, and then just wop babaloo bop, slam up for their doom.
They made sure to secure the ace for him.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
They were trying to, they're body blocking.
I mean, wow. Look at the assist from both the supports there. Convict and Copycat absolutely dominating in the support role. They're keeping their tanks up and really allowing your boy and Snowcoke just to do what they do. I mean, for both the tanks there, they just really had a fun time. That was just like a walk in the park. That was easier than their previous match. If I may be so bold, they really stomped through that one.
They did. I feel like they not only had the confidence to come at it. I mean, you've already beaten one team. You're coming up against another. You know, you've got that last match under your belt. But on top of that, it looked like the role switch had a huge impact. The aggression that Snow brought to that tank role really allowed them to kind of take it up a notch.
Not to be outdone, though, Uga coming in as a substitute. I mean, that was obviously their first match that we've seen with them today. They had a very good match on the Doomfist as well, and Kibo, you know, doing May things.
Beautiful job on May, yeah.
Waste of potential. Taking out Immortality Fields, getting Icicles to the domes, and then that Blizzard comboed with the Gravitic Flux from Snowcoke, just sealing 2 very good matches that we saw from them.
Yeah, and they are going to be continuing on. They have another match coming up against Permafrost, but we are going to be jumping zones, if you will, into another matchup in our intermediate NA bracket. This is the B group. And in the B group, is to catch you up on what's been going on. Team Praxis faced Neon Hamsters on Oasis University in the first match, which Neon Hamsters was able to take. And then I believe right now we are waiting on the results between Neon Hamsters and Quiet Mode, which happened on Sanctuary. But we're going to be seeing Spin to win. They're going to be playing the winner of Neon Hamsters versus Quiet Mode. So for those of you in chat that asked if Quiet Mode was going to be playing today, it's possible they're playing next. So send them your energy to get them through the round. Oh, yes. Oh, it just came in, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, Quiet Mode will be facing off versus Spin to win. So if you wanted to see Quiet Mode, you're in luck. They're coming up next. Any last parting words you want to say to LSFC as we leave them to continue their journey?
I mean, just I expect to see them at the end. Based upon what we have seen of them right now, I don't know if anybody's going to be able to match up with the tank line, the support line, and the DPS line. I mean, right now, the intermoving parts that we saw come in and come out, everybody doing their job, and you love to see it. It's Overwatch at its finest. I love this fast and frenetic pace that we're going on, too.
Yeah, I like it as well. You know, the stakes are as high as they can get, you know, win or lose. There's no, you don't get time to, all right, well, let's take this. Let's do a dry fight. You don't get that. You know, you really do have to be thinking on your toes, and ult management, economy, all of that becomes so much more important in this matchup.
Indeed, and I think, regardless of where we go, which division we're in next, the compositions are going to dictate who really takes control of said map that we go to. And we've seen Lucio comps win out every single time so far.
We have.
Speed kills.
I Speed kills for sure, and I also think the sound barriers have been absolutely crucial. Excuse me. But we are going to be setting up our lobby real quick, ladies and gentlemen, for quiet mode versus spin to win. But we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back with that matchup.
So you queue up for Overwatch Ranked, only to be greeted by this, which then leads to this, and oh no, Reinhardt, what are you doing? The solution? Elo Hell pickup games.
Hey, you know what? Just fucking do it.
Oh my god, it's huge! Oh! Kill! Let's go!
Open to players of all ranks and most platforms, Pugs give you the chance to experience competitive Overwatch as it was meant to be played. Competitively.
I need help.
I'm with you.
Shoot.
No way, dude.
Go. Let's go. Nice. Good call.
Players set their icons to indicate the role they want to play, then 2 captains pick their teammates and draft the most competitive teams they can. You can also take part in our pioneering learning event, Coached Pugs. To take part, join the Elo Hell Pickup Games Discord, and be sure to read the Pug Guide and FAQ. Good luck, have fun, and we'll see you in-game.
Gentle ladies and gentle folk, how are you doing this evening? We are back with more action. I am Shadow24, my co-caster for the evening, the wonderful chef Billy. And Billy, we have an apology for our viewers out there.
We
There was a
do.
lot of excitement to see Quiet Mode play.
Quiet Mode did play, and Quiet Mode quietly exited the fight for redemption, going down 100-0. Aye. You hate to see it.
Well, you didn't see it. So
We didn't see it.
But we have the next matchup for you. We do apologize for that slight mishap with our lobbies, but it's all been fixed. We've got Kraken Skulls versus Spin to Win, and I've had a lot of talk tonight about my want to play Hammond. Spin to Win, obviously an ode to Hammond. They have Hammond as their icons in our lobby. I think this is going to be my favorite matchup, not only because of that, but also because Kraken Skulls all have the Kraken emblem. So, like,
I'm digging, the coordination here.
Yeah.
They're definitely going along with themes that you can see inside of Overwatch. And let's see where we're going to go here at Lijiang Tower. We're going to the Gardens, it looks like.
Okay.
You might get your wish.
Hammond can get played here. Hammond can be played here. Come on, guys. I know you were watching.
I think you get your wish here. And I'm not going to hate it.
By the way, you got to pick your team. I'm going with Spin to Win.
Just because they've won, I guess I will go with Spin to Win also.
All right.
I'm really hoping to see this Metal Dive come out.
That would be extremely interesting to see. And for those of you at home, we've got a gentleman's wager going on. We are going to be picking teams, trying to decide who wins. And the matches we see, the one who has named the least has a tweet penalty, if you will. Mine is that I have to tweet my support for the Dallas Fuel instead of my native Houston Outlaws, which hurts me to do so. Billy, if you'd like to explain yours before we get started.
I will tweet out that Chipsa is my favorite owl character and that he is my man crush Friday.
I thought you call him an owl character. Anyway, folks, we're getting right on into it. You see Spin to Win in the blue and Kraken Skulls in the red. McMahon able to find that opening kill for Spin to Win, but it's quickly answered back by Inferno. Ghost, who actually finds two, and there the kills come rolling in for Kraken Skulls as they win this first fight handedly. And we might both be taking our first L as far as our team selection.
Indeed, and I am worried right now because that was a very aggressive push from Kraken Skulls there, and you really have to think that the Lucio pick once again is what is going to dominate this series of matches that we're going through tonight. Blank also landing massive anti-nades in the middle of that team fight.
Yeah.
I think that the Ana Lucio may be the best support core that we're going to see tonight.
Well, the reinitiation is happening now. You can see a fellow kid charging on to the point in that Reinhardt state, getting mighty low, but the healing is there. Shiro finding the opening kill onto the tank. Rock and roll. A fellow kid as well, and the Reinhardt will die as Kua going to go ahead and find a big shatter and a May to put into the tapestries. That's going to end it for him, but the team is going to be able to stay on the point. So Kraken Skulls continuing to dominate the point.
Indeed, and looking at Shiro in the DPS role playing the Ashe, already has Bob available. Inferno Ghost is going to possibly receive a nano boost to pair with the Dragon Blade as we look at Spin to Win to come back in. I think they debated us by their name too, and I'm kind of feeling a little bit cheated by that. I must have you know.
I'm not a happy camper at the moment, but there is still time on the clock and percentage to gain. So they are not out of this just yet. McMahon does have the barrage of Pharah to be feared. Able to find the first kill, but the sound barrier coming out from Jingle, able to keep the rest of Kraken Skulls alive as the kills continue to follow through. Duel on this Reinhardt has been an absolute force of nature. Devastation, even if you will, as Inferno finally taking the torch as the DPS character to find a couple of kills, and this is really not looking good for Spin to Win.
Absolutely not, but I mean, Cartier on the May is going to have Blizzard in the next team fight while they coalesce together and try to decide to come out. And how are they going to path along this? You know, they've got to worry about Jingle on the Lucio, seeing if he can get a boop or two. Not getting their bubble is going to save him from going down, though. That is huge from Griffin. Then they also have Graviton Surge online.
Yeah, Graviton Surge there, but Griffin gonna be sent back to spawn. So now in a 5v5, never mind, Kua gonna make that a 4v4. The kill is finally coming through for a fellow kid. That nano boost paying off and allowing them to get a little bit of percentage, but the dance being done by Jingle and Shiro just off point is going to stop Spin to Win from gaining any real percentage on the point. Now respawns are going to be able to come through. There goes the Graviton on to the point to find the tanks, and also Migman as well. Oh! What a retake. They never even gave it up.
They never even gave it up. That was a huge Graviton Surge, and that's going to spell, I mean, almost spell lights out for Spin to Win here as just a little bit of a contested deal at the up.
Well, I guess we're going to be going into our predictions 0-0. That's all right. We're doing it with pride. Spin to Win as well. They were able to get themselves the first victory, but now, when faced with Kraken Skulls, one of the more seasoned orgs here at ELO Hell.
Oh, what a pin by Kua!
No.
Taking the fellow kid down on the
again, this wrecking ball doesn't count.
I'm going to agree with you there. That doesn't count, and I think, you know, based upon what we saw there from Kraken Skulls, the support line wins out the day. Nano Blade was huge, especially with the the Nano Blade really getting a lot of value into it, as you see here. I mean, he just absolutely crushed people. And, you know, there's anti-naming to it.
Thought you were safe. Wow.
Ooh. So we go 0-1 now, both of us in our gentleman's tweet. I mean, the support cores are, I think, is going to be the most important part of our night tonight. And Lucio, Ana, not looking bad. I thought the Moira Lucio looked very good with the matches that we have seen tonight with all the winners. Every single winner that we have had tonight has had a Lucio on their team.
Yes, that is a fact. Also, to update you guys at home what's going on in the other division, LSFC has continued their reign of terror. They beat Permafrost, and they're now facing off against Static. I am going to go ahead and throw in my bid for LFC to take their intermediate division. They still have to face. They would have to beat Junkertown Jewels, Black Hammond Union, Hot Soup, Winnipeg, GG Go Next, and SapG Esports. So they have a long journey, but I think it's theirs.
I think I'm going to agree with you on that. Now, just to let everybody know at home, I believe that it's the higher seeds. They are going through higher seeds as they go up the ladder.
They are.
Okay. So, I mean, man, they've looked really dominant, though, as LSFC. I really want to know and keep an eye on them throughout the night, how they go. I hope we get to go back into that division at some point.
I don't think we do. I think we've seen the last of that division for us.
Okay. Well, good luck to them.
Definitely going to be keeping an eye on it.
Indeed.
Right now, we're actually going to be switching divisions again as we head on over to our rookie in a B group. So we're hopping back down a tier where we've had Rain SL, who's been able to beat Team Draconic, and they're fighting against Team SOS, and we're just waiting on the results of that matchup to see who faces off against TBD Overwatch, another organization who has a little bit more of a history here at ELO Hell with their with their GitGud team.
Indeed. I mean, I'm interested to see what's going to happen there. As this is my first time doing this. I'm having a blast. This is Fast and Furious as you like it. You know, we'll be back with you guys in just a few minutes. We're waiting for the teams to get into lobbies, so we'll see you after these short messages.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Straddle24 and Chef Billy here with ELO Hell, bringing you the fight for redemption. The process for this evening, if you're just joining us, is all of our teams that did not place for the playoffs have been allowed to play this gauntlet-style control point battle. You get one control point, not a map, just a control point, at an increased tick rate. You have to defeat your opponent and move on to the next one. The winner moves on, final team standing. We are going to be moving on to a different division than what you saw last. We're moving over to our Rookie in a B division, at which point Rain SL, or RSL for short, has already defeated Team Draconic and Team SOS, and they're facing off against TBD Overwatch. I have chosen, of course, RSL as the victor, and I believe, Billy, you're going with TBD.
I'm going with TBD. They're a higher seed as it is, and maybe they're a little bit fresher. I mean, I just imagine the mental capacity to go from the very first match all the way through, run the ladder. I mean, that's going to take a serious amount of mental fortitude and some serious gameplay to be able to do that. But, you know, we'll see what's going to happen here. As we head to Night Market in Lijiang, we saw tonight earlier a Symmetra strat gone very nicely for a team here, I believe, also in the rookie division. So we will see what is going to be brought in here from both these teams.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have two Symmetras on the field. No real surprise there. Getting up and over into the window is the prime way to get position on the point. Oh my lord, my nickels, my pearls. Is Vantage going to be playing the Hammond, or is he trolling me? Vantage, oh.
Wow.
Vantage can be friends.
But they're both running Lucios. They're both running Lucios. They're both running also the Symmetra, so the speed to the point is going to be very real. Actually, just a speed boost out of the gate, and Zoroastrian going on to the Brigitte.
A little bit late on that teleport. They're still able to get themselves in, and a great Orisa shield coming out from DeVito to help them out. Immortality is taken out quickly as TBD dominates the point, and I may have chosen the wrong horse, but I'm not giving up on him just yet. However, going up against that Mei, Dink really needs to step it up to catch up on ult percentage.
Indeed, and I mean, looking at the battle between the two Symmetras, Kemi coming out on top of that one. Repeat in the Mei battle, already 30% ahead of their opposite in Dink. Pineapple's going to be the coalescing factor here, I believe, in the healer role. Also, the speed available to them. We have seen all tonight. Lucio comps are the preferred one to do.
They tried to get that Symmetra teleporter up on top, and it didn't work out that well. And what a circumvention of the amplification matrix, finding his way around and then getting a big shatter. Vantage really leading the charge right now for TBD as they continue to be completely dominating in this fight. Uh-oh. This is not looking great. We need to see some sort of response come out from RSL. They need to be able to combat this, because right now Vantage in the side of TBD really have just been able to play around on the point.
Indeed, and I'm liking what I'm seeing out of TBD right now. You know, they have the amplification matrix ready to go, and the photon barrier, I think, is going to deny a lot of work coming out from the side from RSL.
Oh no, that Mei wall is going to make it very difficult for RSL to make good on their engagement. They lose a couple of members very early on, and from there it's just a snowball. TBD going to continue to hold this point. Elite going to have to jump off the edge to get that respawn with his team.
Indeed, and I mean, look at the ultimate economies right now. I mean, you've got 3 available. I mean, the Blizzard is probably going to be saved in reserve should there be a real aggression coming onto the point. I think you can use the Gravitic Flux to kind of get some early staggered early health depletion, and then Pineapple is going to be able to resist Supercharger or a Blizzard.
Oh,
RSL!
Oh, able to find himself a big Gravitic Flux from Florida. And that's really just going to stave off the approach, but Repeat going to find Elite with that Icicle, and that is absolutely crucial. The charge through the point with style. Coat's going to take Kimmy out of the fight. Not going to be able to do much other than meet his team back at spawn, but hey, you get rid of the Symmetra for a little bit.
I mean, for a little bit, but I mean, still you have the Blizzard in hand. 85% and counting. I'm looking at Vantage probably to throw Shatter here to stop the aggression from coming in if he can get around the corner.
Oh no, the amplification matrix is used, but that Blizzard able to completely nullify that ultimate and allow Repeat to find the opening kill. Elite gets Vantage, so no longer is there a main tank. Well, actually, Orisa's still on the point with DeVito, and that's going to allow Dink and Steves to go ahead and rampage on the point, dish out massive amounts of damage. And finally, RSL showing a bit of life here. They take the point, but it's one fight territory now.
Oh, absolutely, one fight territory. They did invest a lot of ults into that fight, though, so that is something that I am very worried about as far as trying to retake this point. Code's going to have Shatter available. Stev's coming up close onto a Death Blossom, and I think that's going to be something that's going to hold them off the point for the time being.
Now, this Pharmacy is coming out from Repeat. There's nothing to really combat that airborne threat. You think it's going to be enough to push back TBD? Or to
Absolutely.
retake for TBD?
I think that the retake is going to be very real. Here comes the Photon Barrier coming out from Kemi. That's going to stop a lot of damage coming into them. And, man, Vantage is swinging away with impunity right now.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Able to find that Shatter as well, and that's going to open the floodgates for TBD. They're going to be able to take this point back. We do see the Hammond from DeVito there at the very, very end. Just really there to be a bit of an annoyance, a stagger pick, if you will. The switch will go over. DeVito not able to keep control in RSL's favor. And that's going to be just about it. As long as they can mitigate respawns and they have the bodies to do so, TBD is going to be moving on to fight Fish.
Indeed, I mean, Death Blossom dropped in, but immediately deleted out of existence. That is just massive. That's hard to see. And there you have it. I get the win there in our little friendly gentleman's wager, Steidel.
Looks like I am one step closer to making a tweet I won't be able to take back.
Indeed. And just looking at what we saw there, I mean, once again, it's the Lucio that keeps you up. And, I mean, the teams have got to realize by now that Lucio is the key to winning. And it is just what we've seen throughout all of our matches tonight. Steidel, I mean, you're now 0-2 on your predictions.
Okay. Before we go to break, you pick first. Which team are you taking? TBD or Fish? The higher seed or what you just saw?
I'm gonna take TBD.
All right, then I'll take the higher seed this time. I'll take Fish. I think I'm gonna win Fish. I know you guys are out there. I know you're watching. Come on, guys. Don't let me down. But we are going to throw to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. So please do not go anywhere. We will be right back with some more action. And we're back, everybody, with more wonderful Overwatch, or Wonderful, depending on how you like to pronounce it. We are going to be bringing you TBD Overwatch as they continue. They just beat RSL, so they are now going to be facing off against Fizz.
Fizz.
There we go, Fizz.
Fizz.
In this next matchup, as we go to Oasis, and I believe we're going to City Center.
Yep, that's what we were informed of. So
yeah,
let's see what the teams bring to beautiful Egypt. Lots of different ways for them to kind of aggress in here. We've been wanting to see a full dive come out all night.
This could be the place to have it.
This would be the place to have it. I definitely think that Winston and Hammond could both thrive here. You've been wanting Wrecking Ball all night and just haven't had the opportunity to get your satisfaction yet. I just want it to happen.
Hopefully, if the teams are nice, we'll get a Hammond Ball thrown in there for me. Just so you guys at home know, we do have TBD in the red and Fizz in the blue as we come into City Center, and we haven't gotten to see any City Center yet.
No, we haven't. We've got a really steady diet of Lijiang a lot tonight. We've been to Nepal once. Man, I'm just wanting to see it. I want to see more of the control maps be spread out.
Are we going to be seeing our first echo of the evening? Looks like we are.
Looks like we are.
Repeat on the echo for TBD.
Oh, looks like we may have had a disconnect.
Yep, quick disconnect, but that is okay. You're going to get that player right back in. Yeah. Luckily, neither team has really made any progress on the point. Nobody has any sort of ult percentage. So it looks like we're waiting on the word from Upon High to see if they can just go ahead and full restart on the match, or if the disconnected player is going to have to come back in and come back from spawn, which it looks like it's a D. Oh, no, it's one of the supports. So that's actually kind of big. I think it was their Mercy.
It was their Lucio player.
Lucio. So
Indeed.
That's not too big of an issue. Lucio can come back in and speed boost the point.
Indeed. So, I mean, looking at what we have on the screen right now, we see a pharmacy coming out. We've got, the Ryan Zarya coming out, and also Nanoblade potential also from Fizz with K Sully and Sunny D on the Genji.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking, we saw the Ryan Sigma on Lijiang earlier tonight used to great effect. We saw a fantastic 5-man gravitic flux kill from Snowcoke. But let's see how
we're fairly good at kind of zoning out and helping deal with the Pharah, and then they have Kimmy on the McCree. So TBD fairly prepared to see the airborne threat, and of course Echo being one of the newer and, in my opinion, one of the best kind of counters to a Pharah. The how quickly you can dodge makes it very difficult to land a direct rocket hit, while allowing you to track the much more predictable movement of that Pharah, the jets.
Mm-hmm. I also like the sticky bombs onto the Pharah. Getting that HP down very quickly, and then going in with the focusing beam after that almost completely deletes a Pharah, and then you have to turn your attention obviously to the Mercy at that point. Man, I love watching the air duels go on between Echoes and the Forest.
And hopefully we get to see them. Sadly, we have to restart the map, and as they do not pick the control point when going into the map, there is a chance that we are going to be getting a different map here on Oasis. But, you know, pretty much everything except for University. You know, Pharah, even on University, Pharah is viable, but there are some heroes that kind of outshine her there. But both here and at the third point eludes me. Oh, yay. Just got the word from production. It's going to be City Center again, so I don't have to figure out what the name of that third point is.
Gardens.
We're staying right where we are.
Gardens.
Gardens, yes, Gardens. Gardens is also a very good farm map. But since we're still in City Center, we're still going to get to see most likely similar compositions. But now, if any of your guys are watching stream, there's a chance you've seen, you know, what the enemy team is running. Do you think anything changes?
I mean, I like Kemi on the McCree. Will they be able to get the high ground with the rockets raining in from the pharmacy combo? That's going to be a duel that I want to see. Also, will the Echo be able to get into that pharmacy combo as well? So, you know, it's not like they're purposely stream sniping, but I think that you definitely did see the reveal of what each team's comp was going to be, and maybe you make a little bit of adjustment there. Maybe you lock in the legs. Maybe you decide that Ashe might be a better choice with all the beautiful weapons in her kit. I mean, running a double hit scan might not necessarily be a bad thing to deal with a pharmacy combo. Once again, we need to see Lucio. Lucio has been the thing that we've seen so much work tonight. We haven't seen a match tonight that didn't have the winners using a Lucio.
Do you think it'll happen, or do you think it's going to be a required all the way through kind of pick?
I mean, it depends on what kind of support core goes up against that Lucio. Because once again, it's the speed, not only to aggress into a point, but also to get out and kite away from an impressive amount of damage.
Engagement tool.
So, I mean, here we go again. Hopefully, we won't have a DC this time.
Alrighty. Teams are looking very similar.
Repeat has swapped off.
Is not making any switches. But Repeat, not going to be going with that Echo. Going to be showing us the Genji right now, but there's still time. Maybe the Mei. Repeat. Stop messing with us.
Make up your mind.
What's the final pick? Staying with the Mei. All right.
I mean, it is an extra quote-unquote shield with the wall that she can throw up. So, I mean, it might be able to not only cordon off the tank line, but also help defend against some of the spam damage coming in from Ruin.
That is the hope, at least. You're seeing them use that wall to separate the support line from everybody else on Fish. So TBD being strategic with the use of that. Sunny D getting very low in the middle of this fight.
What a rock. What a rock from Florida onto Fjord in the Reinhardt role for Fizz.
Yep, and this fight going to continue to be very brawly as both teams not really giving much room. But Fjord will be the first to fall, and now without that shield tank in your lineup, everybody becomes so much more vulnerable. Big nade comes in from Sully to help out the rest of his members trapped in that corner and take Vantage and Repeat out of the fight. Tips the scales in Fizz's favor. And with that barrage, TBD now looking at an uphill battle.
Indeed, and I mean, that was a well-placed barrage coming out there, and the just constant support being pumped in, being able to survive during the coalescence that was thrown by not a Nomad. It looks like Fizz is going to take first control of this point, but, you know, the ultimate battle right now is going to be in favor of Fizz, and, you know, Nanoblade to stop the aggression coming in is what I'm going to be looking at for Fizz to do.
And I don't know about the statistics on this one, but most of the matches that we've seen tonight, the one who grabs first control has been the victor, and a Nano Blade's gonna decide this fight. Sunny D able to find Pineapple and Kimmy into the backline, make that 3 as the team kill comes through, and Fish making a very definitive statement in this second team fight.
Indeed, I mean, that was a huge Nano Blade coming in, and Fjord also, throwing his hammer around 25% and counting. Ultimates being used from both sides. I really want to see Kemi get into a nice tactical position to drop the Deadeye and maybe pull some of these cooldowns out of Fizz, and then for Vantage, drop the hammer.
Positioning is going to be everything for that, with both a Genji and a Far in the skies. Sunny D, oh, the reflect onto Kimmy. Kimmy gets taken out by his own ultimate, and that allows Run to go ahead and run rampant, finding 2 kills onto the tank line of TVD, and TVD has not been able to find any purchase on this point.
No, and I mean, this is looking really bad, especially from an ultimate point. I mean, Florida's going to have to try and get something big out of this Gravitic Flux, but I mean, he's been just getting bombarded by anti-nades coming from Sully. I mean, this Ana player is something else.
Something else indeed, and on the verge of another nano boost, 72% to the Dragon Blade, and they have the Graviton available. Fizz sitting in a very good spot as the high ground proves beneficial for TVD, taking out the first 2 kills. Now, no DPS for Fish on the point as the engagement begins. Kimmy being cheeky with the Ash, trying to stay on top in the center, not able to do so, but able to narrowly avoid that charge coming out from Fjord, as in the backlines, he's taking a lot of damage, trying to work that shield back to his team, but Kimmy continuing to be a havoc dealer, here on the Ash, as continues to find kills. Pineapple even putting himself into the kill feed at 81%. TBD able to take it back.
Indeed, I mean, Gravitic Flux coming out, I'm not sure why that was invested. Maybe going to swap heroes, I don't know. But, the duplicate is available from Repeat right now. Sound Barrier is going to be able to defend against the Graviton Surge, maybe the combo of the Nano and the Dragon Blade.
Looks like the Echo ultimate is going to come out from Repeat onto the Reinhardt, but not able to find any ultimates. In fact, Florida and Repeat both going to be taken out by Fjord and Sunny D. This is the opening that Fizz was looking for as they continue to find kills and take purchase on the point. At 81%, if they can win this team fight and position this Shatter correctly, this point is theirs to win.
Indeed, I mean, I don't know if there's going to be enough in the tank for TBD. Once they get to the point, they're looking at 4 ultimates going in. I mean, look at it. Nomad going to go ahead and swap off the Moira and going to the Baptiste. So I think the Immortality Barrier is what they're really looking to get the value out of that. Vantage, popping the supercharger here. Man, oh, what a blade!
Oh, Sunny! What are you doing, mate? That's absolutely insane. Triple kill from Sunny to start the fight off, and that's all that you need. Fjord with the hammer swing onto Repeat to send it home. And wow, TBD, very dominant last match, but Fish coming in to play some real Overwatch, and that puts us, if I recall correctly, at a 1-1.
Let's see. You're 1-2, now I'm 1-2.
Yeah.
So
we're tied for
the
one, I guess.
But I mean, look at this blade. I mean, the first blade. This is the first blade that he led out, and I mean, the nano boost absolutely helping him get through that ultimate, and the dash resets that we showed there. Man, what a great play from him! And I mean, it was a dominant performance from Fizz, and I look forward to seeing what they do throughout the rest of the tournament.
I feel like we're kind of bad luck for these teams that are winning. The only one that we really left in good condition was LSFC, and even eventually they fell. Kraken Skulls, they fell. TBD, our RSL, they were on a roll, and then we chimed in for them versus TBD. They fell. TBD gets the streak going. We cast their next match. They fell. I'm feeling we might be a little bit of a bad luck charm, but we'll see if that rings true. Because Scuffed Shock in I believe this is still in our rookie division. Yep, rookie in AA. Scuffed Shock just beat Corvus Gravity, and they're moving on to play VCG Esports. Because I feel bad, I'm gonna go with Scuffed Shock. Because I feel like as a bad luck charm, if they take the L, I'm okay with taking it with them.
I think this is one of the teams that we casted earlier in the tournament, the main tournament. I remember Lissaru and Stuffin' Things very vividly. I'm going to go with Scuff Shock as well. I think because I remember this team, and I think that they ended up getting the W in their match that I cast. I think I'm going to go with them as well.
All right. Well, then for the sake of competition, I'm gonna go with VCG.
All right.
One of us has got to send out this tweet, and if we keep picking the same teams, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but I mean, I think you also go with VCG because of your dinner, Potato Lord.
What? No.
Yeah.
I have no. I'm not leaning towards either side due to fabulously, wonderfully baked potatoes with like sour cream and brisket and everything. And as the Potato Lord, I have to believe that VCG may have the upper hand in the Potato Wars. But that's not why I'm picking them. I'm picking them because I believe in them. 100%. Oh, and whoever wins here is going to be playing Kraken Skulls. Okay. That is going to be fantastic. We've already seen Kraken Skulls play once, but I think this is their rookie division team.
Mm-hmm.
So Kraken Skulls, they're not out of the fight just yet. They may have been taken down by 50 Shades of Overwatch, but they might have they're going to have their chance again here in a bit. And I believe the winner of that, nope, never mind. There's more to my spreadsheet. But yeah, VCG will be taking on Kraken Skulls if they win this, or Scuff Shock. And we're going to be going to Nepal Village, which is a map that I wanted to play earlier, but sadly a map that I don't think I'm going to get my Wrecking Ball on.
Oh, man, I think the Wrecking Ball needs to come out as a starter in one of these matches tonight because the ability for him to get the disruption in the back line is something that we've seen a lot tonight where they aggress. The team fight breaks out, and then somebody seems to go onto a flank and get into the back line, and that's usually when the team starts to fall and crumble. And I really want to know, I mean, Lucio, this time, did not win.
Yeah, that's the first.
I'm shocked. I'm hurt.
You're hurt. Oh.
I'm hurt. We had such a nice roll going for Lucio there.
I mean, I'd like to see a Zenyatta. We haven't seen a single Zenyatta. I know that Zenyatta's kind of a very niche pick at the moment, but I think that would be an interesting battle. I'd like to see the Transcendence come into play.
I mean, yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic to see, especially in our upper divisions. I don't know about here in this elo.
True.
I mean, the skill is there, right? But I don't know if the aim is there.
I guess you are true. You are bringing me back to reality. Thank you. I was in a little bit of a dream world there. Sometimes I tend to doze off. Live the life you live.
I mean, I could go for a nap here soon, as this is going to be a marathon for us tonight, but I'm enjoying every single minute of this. I mean, we've had really great action from all the teams that we represented tonight. And, yeah, I want to see how they aggress onto the point here. Will we see dueling Symmetras? Absolutely the right choice. I think that you want to bring a Winston in here, though, to deal with the turrets.
Well, first of all, let's see if they're going to stick with the Symmetras or if they're just going for, that initial teleporter out of the gate. Very, very popular strategy, and mix it with the speed boost. You can get a very big advantage on the opposing team. Let's see what they decide to do. Doesn't look like we're going to be having any switches. Yep, no, sorry, Zando. going to be switching off onto that Doomfist. John Pond going to be switching off onto the Reaper. By the way, guys, VCG is in blue. Scuffed Shock is in red.
Indeed, they ran the Lucio and got to the point first and already starting to get the value out of that. And the May with the wall just absolutely cutting everybody off. That's got to be a quick reset.
A quick reset indeed. And, you know, this is the ELO where May can be such a difference maker because, you know, teams aren't playing as deathball as they should. You know, the thought of like a soft engage and then disengaging may not be on everybody's mind. So that wall it's very easy to displace members and make it a 3v6 or a 3v5.
Indeed, and I think that the anti-nade's going to have to be real from Hen when they start aggressing under the point. And then how is Lissaru on this Brigitte going to be able to make an impact in the game, especially with all the nerfs that came out?
Early 1-for-1 trade there, DPS for a support, but looks like Scuffed Shot going to continue to reign supreme on this point. VCG not really able to find a foothold with this D.Va composition that they've been running. How are you really not able to do much?
Yeah, looking at the ultimates right now, I mean, Stuff and Things has the Shatter online. Xander's going to be able to maybe combo a Meteor Strike with that. Really, that Potato Lord swinging with impunity, but last, you know, getting the anti onto him, I think is where we're going to see the real value of Ana be shown here. Also, Lissaru coming up on a rally, they're going to be able to get really beefy and really brawly once she pops that.
Dropping down for the engage and being met by a Shatter. The Mei wall is there, but it really doesn't matter. The kill feed is red. Oh, man. That's shocked, not scuffed in any way at all. 30% on the board for VCG, but Scuffed Shock is not going to allow them to increase that at all. And oh, how are you? Staggered. That's how they are.
And I mean, that was really just an anti-nade and a Shatter. I mean, the ultimate economy that was shown there, absolutely perfect. And I mean, the cleanup after the Shatter and the anti-nade was absolutely on point. Potato Lord's going to have a Shatter to try and aggress on the point, and let's see.
Whoa! The shield is there! Stuff and Things able to keep his team alive, and now that Blizzard's going to be spent by McRice, but the kills are still there for the entirety of Scuffed Shock. VGC is just not able, or sorry, VCG is just not able to find any kills with anything.
Oh my goodness, that was an engagement that I thought they had the chance to win. They threw the wall up, threw the Blizzard in, but an anti-nade or a biotic nade from Hen keeping the team up. Lissaru did end up popping the rally there and really keeping the team up.
Another big anti-nade coming out from Hen as the Death Blossom tries to get things done. John Pond able to find the opening kill as the Potato Lord gets one himself. And now VCG able to give themselves a 4v6 on the point. Kills continuing to stream through. This could be the retake they were looking for, but 75% built up. That's almost last fight territory with this increased tick rate.
Yeah, and it took two ultimates to get them that point. Argumentera on this Moira may have a Coalescence available in the next team fight. They're going to have the sound barrier. I think that's going to be the big one that really keeps them topped up in the middle of the mid fight. But if Stuff and Things lands a massive Shatter here, I think it's going to be a quick flip.
Coalescence and Shatter, of course, also going to be online, and that's going to be big. There's the Shatter, but the shield is there, and now ult's definitely in favor of VCG. They get the initial freeze onto the Reinhardt and take him out of the equation as the Doomfist Meteor Strike falls on deaf ears. Kills continuing to flow in for VCG, as now it looks like they have the controlling hold. 60% and rising. A couple of ults online for Scuffed Shock, but they're walking into a pretty heavy ult economy.
Indeed, and I think that McRice's next Blizzard is going to be the defining point of this match. How do they employ it? When do they employ it? Is the real question. And is the Nano Boost going to be able to save somebody out of this Blizzard? And the rally.
Yeah, there's so much that they've got online, but they have to. They're going to have to use that immediately in order to win. Scuff Shock trying to hold on to their run here.
That's a big
Able
anti-move.
to find the opening kill on Argumentera. Now in a 5v6. Scuff Shock has the body advantage. Getting low. The Potato Lord is in very, very serious danger. The sound barrier is used after the Graviton, but Lissaru able to find the kills that they need, and now Scuff Shock continuing to find themselves in the kill feed. They have the Shatter, they have the Meteor Strike to use if they need it. Doesn't look like they're going to at 99%. They're going to give up control. VCG has to win one fight, but the same could be said for the Shock.
Indeed. I mean, looking at Meteor Strike, you've got the Shatter online. I think John Pond maybe teleport to the back and drop the Death Blossom unannounced. I think that's one thing that can be useful. How are you maybe able to get the self-destruct line? Not if you're slept, though.
Oh, no! Feels bad, man. The Death Blossom not finding the kills that it needs. And now with a Mei wall on point and Zando there to help out. Self-destruct going to be crucial, but the shield is there to keep them safe. Now Scuff Shock looking at the top of the mountain, the summit, continuing their climb. John Pond trying to drive this home and dethrone Scuff Shock, but the kills continuing to come through as Plasma on this Tracer continues to be a force to be reckoned with, and Hin just off point doing the offensive Ana just to help out a little bit more. The Sleeping Reinhardt getting taken out, and that's it. The Scuff Shock are going to be able to secure this point.
Whew, but what a fight, though. What a fight.
Indeed. What a fight indeed.
Oh my goodness, Scuff Shock really showing some class there through the mid fight and getting a lot of ultimate value from their ultimates. Also Hen on this Ana. Oh my goodness. The sleeps were absolutely crucial. Getting the Reinhardt slept in the corner, just letting all the damage go on to him. And I mean, that was just all she wrote.
Hen was an absolute just wrecking ball. If you will, on that Ana. You see Argumentera there with 29% of the team's damage taken on healing. Good job there. Don't forget to thank your healers, ladies and gentlemen, in games. All of them. Always thank your healers. But yeah, VCG not able to continue on. Scuff Shock winning there. Hold on, let me look at my stat sheet here. Looks like Scuff Shock has won 1, 2, 3 matches now, and is now going on to face off against Kraken's Skulls. They've only got 3 more teams to beat to put themselves into the final matchup for the rookie division.
Indeed, I think they have a chance to do it based upon what we just saw there. Lissaru on the Brigitte, probably the unsung hero of the team. I think that they ended up shield bashing John Pond on the Death Blossom to take the value out of that.
Yeah. Definitely, and I think that one of the things that was really big for Scuff Shock in this engagement was Plasma on that Tracer the entire time. Didn't really get much kill feed, perhaps, but was kind of just dwindling him down just enough to allow for the rest of his team to get in there.
I think it was more of an annoyance than the pure DPS that you want to see the Tracer be. I think that just getting into the back line, getting a couple one clips, getting people down, letting the other people come in and finish up the kills. I think you saw a lot of value from that because I didn't see the Tracer die very many times.
No, a very, very good job of keeping themselves alive and also not taking value away from their supports. Oftentimes going off to the side to find health packs and doing the healing on their own, so the supports are able to more focus on the tanks and the DPS are on the point, which honestly wasn't really much. They had the Doomfist as well, which is another character that thrives very well on their own and is able to kind of survive without those utility. But this just in, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Looks like Kraken Skull's rookie division is going to be forfeiting. So congratulations to Scuff Shock. You move on. Yet another one. So we're going to be having Scuffed Shock versus Team DD.
That is very fortunate for them. Let's take a look at where we're going to go next. I think we're going to go into the advanced NA division.
Nope. The voices from on high have corrected us. We're going to do Team DD versus Shock in replacement of our Kraken Skulls game, but then we will be making the move on over to see Furious Unicorns versus King's Throw, 2 teams that have been in GG for quite some time.
We are the voices in your head.
I'm excited to see what Scuff Shock does.
What was that? You were saying?
Oh, yes, I wanted to see now how Scuff Shock is going to respond, getting a forfeit win and moving on to play Team DD. I guess that would be a second, I guess an extra added seed above what we were going to see from Kraken Skulls. So
this will be a big jump for them.
Let's go ahead and get our predictions out there then. I'm going to stay with Scuff Shock.
I'm going to go with DD.
DD.
I'm going to have to go with DD. Because the competitor in me obviously has to go counter you. But I think that this might be the kicker. I think that the added element of having to fight not 1 seed above the team you just fought, but 2 seeds above the team you just fought, there's a lot more of a change in skill there. So I think that this might be, I'm confident that this is going to be the moment that Scuff Shock I don't think they're going to get handed to them. But I think Team D is the one to take them down.
I mean, I hope that's the case. I just think that Scuff Shock is going to use the Doomfist to great advantage again. I don't know about the Tracer pick, though. I think maybe bringing a Mei in, get it a little bit of double CC in there. I think that might beef them up a little bit. But, I mean, Hen on the Ana and Lissaru on the Brigitte. I really like that support line. I mean, even with the nerfs that came into Brigitte, still able to provide a lot of healing, a lot of resource and potential to their team.
Well, we're going to see if that's going to play as big of a factor as you think it does. I also agree. Synergy and all of that is a huge factor into these matchups. But we're going to go to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, to situate some lobby issues. And we will be right back with Scuff Shock versus Team DD.
So you queue up for Overwatch Ranked, only to be greeted by this, which then leads to this, and oh no, Reinhardt, what are you doing? solution? ELO Hell pickup games.
Hey, you know what? Just fucking do it.
Oh my god, it's huge! Oh! Kill! Let's go!
Open to players of all ranks and most platforms, Pugs give you the chance to experience competitive Overwatch as it was meant to be played. Competitively.
I need help.
I'm with you.
Shoot.
No way, dude.
Go. Let's go. Nice. Good call.
Players set their icons to indicate the role they want to play, then two captains pick their teammates and draft the most competitive teams they can. You can also take part in our pioneering learning event, Coached Pugs. To take part, join the ELO Hell Pickup Games Discord, and be sure to read the Pug Guide and FAQ. Good luck, have fun, and we'll see you in-game.
as you can see, I've had to lose the Appa hood. It's a little too hot. Things are getting too crazy. Shadow 24, Chef Billy here, bringing you the fight for redemption. And Billy, we've got another matchup coming up.
We do. We've got Team DD and Scuff Shock that we just saw at our previous match. Scuff Shock winning that very close engagement, though. It was not a walk in the park by any means for Scuff Shock.
No.
But I still think the support line for Scuff Shock is going to have to be something that Team DD deals with. Otherwise, this could be a very quick match.
A very quick match indeed. We're really looking at, I mean, I think that with Stuff and Things, Scuff Shock stands a pretty good chance. He was a very solid Reinhardt in the last matchup, so we're going to have to see if Team DD is going to be able to step up. But I do want to remind you folks at home that usually after defeating their previous opponent, teams go on to face the next higher seed. But in this situation specifically, due to a forfeit, Scuffed has to jump 2 tiers. So they're going to have to fight somebody who was seated 2 spots above them, or more than 2 spots above their most recent opponent.
I mean, basically it's +3 now at this point. And I'm really interested to see, we've seen Li Zhang a lot tonight. Do we see the same kind of composition coming out from Scuff Shock? We saw the Doomfist Tracer in the DPS.
I'm going to work the Doomfist Tracer here.
You can. I'm very interested to see what we're going to see out of Team DD, though.
Let's see. The Symmetras are not going to be a surprise at all. Very, very frequent pick for this map. The Bastion from Zando, however, I don't expect to see follow through.
The McCree, yeah, I can see that. That's a better pick, Zando. That's a better pick indeed. But the tank and support lines for Scuff Shock staying the same.
Yep. Not too surprised at that point. You know, they are kind of the pillar of each engagement, so to keep them the same and keep that tried and true going, that's kind of the way to go about it. And look at that, both teleporters at about the same time, getting up and over through the window. But you see 10 years spending a little bit of extra time on the top to dispel some of those armor packs.
Indeed.
Immortality now out of the way as Zando and Plasma and the rest of Scuff Shock look to take an early control of the point on yet another team here in the rookie division.
Indeed, and once again, that's on the back of Penn, just laying people out with that anti-nade going into the team to deny the healing. And I mean, look at that. Scuff Shock already have control of this point and already has their nano boost ready to go.
Very strategic disengage, however, from their opponent. Team DD disengages, gets the window, and then comes back in big.
All of that was really influenced by the amplification matrix put out by the Wolf. That absolutely allowed them the key to unlocking the defenses of Scuff Shock, and I think that they got really hoodwinked there going into it. Also, SDK Summer on this on the Echo already has duplicate available. The sticky bombs being laid in by them are absolutely picture perfect.
Well, the rally is going to start things off for Scuff Shock as they try to break their way into the point. The Shatter gets blocked, however, and that's big. The Echo goes down, and SDK not able to find any kills, but able to be a big enough distraction to allow for the Graviton to get dished out. Kirito finds Plasma after he gets a kill onto the support line of Team DD. And another blocked Shatter, a beautiful Photon Barrier comes out from Team DD to keep them in the fight, and still back and forth, neither team looking to give the edge to their opponent. Zando finds why not there towards the end, and control percentage going to continue to stick with Team DD. They're a forced retreat, if you will, for Scuff.
And indeed, once they lost Stuff and Things in the mid fight there, I think that, you know, the smart thing to do was to get out. But Stuff and Things way ahead of his healer core right now, and I'm very scared to see what's going to happen. He's so low.
Oh man, the Graviton does get spent, but the follow-up damage simply is not there for Scuff Shock. Team DD continuing their dominance here on the point. You saw that early take come in for Scuff Shock, but since then, they really have not been able to put the pieces together to take this point back.
Indeed, and I think that it has to do with the aggression being shown by SDK Summer on the Echo. Also, a lot of healing being put out by Tenure and the Wolf and the support core. I mean, the Photon Barrier that was put out by Talaran in the last fight really turning this engagement on its head. It denied all the healing going into stuff and things, and he just has really not a leg to stand on right now.
Oh man, another block shatter for Team DD. They've been able to block 3 shatters in this matchup, but Bob doesn't care. He's gonna go ahead and start rampaging on the point. And the retake does happen here. Finally, we're gonna see Scuff Shock put themselves back into a pleasurable position.
It cost them 5 ults though, Steidel. Like, they used 5 ultimates in that fight just to take the point. They're going to be looking at another sound barrier, or I'm sorry, another shatter, another photon barrier. SDK Summer deciding to swap off of the Echo and go to the Torbjorn.
Yes! We finally get to see the Torbjorn, one of my favorite heroes in the game. As they initiate onto the point, the photon barrier is going to be there to protect the turret in the off angle, but the Dynamite's going to find SDK Summer's turret. That's just going to be the beginning of the fight, as Why Not continues to lead the dominating charge. Finding 2, finding 3 in the end, and Team DD taking this point back with ease, if you will. Holding up the shield, allowing for his team to do the work. Why not? Showing you what a real Reinhardt does.
Indeed, I mean, just getting so much value from the shielding there, but I think the Immortality Barrier is beating out all of the Inspire Healing and all the anti-nades coming out of Scuff Shock, and as we cross 95%, it's going to be a hard take here with the Amplification Matrix coming out.
Oh, and another block shatter, make it 4 for Team DD. Stuff and Things just has not been able to find any relent here on this point. He gets taken out early and the shatters get blocked as the kills continue to come in for Team DD. Graviton just to kind of secure things off there on the end, but Team DD winning this one in excellent fashion and putting me to 2-2 on predictions.
You're 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
I'm now
okay.
I'm now 2 and 3. So we're tied up again. Unlucky. Here's the first shatter. He actually landed a pretty good shatter here in the background.
Oh, he does get it through the back. All right, so they got 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, but still, I mean, it was just a dominating performance from Team DD, and you just love to see the aggression being shown, allowing a Reinhardt to do Reinhardt things, as you pointed out in the last fight. You can just hard shield at that point and let your DPS do their job. Also, Kirito on that Zarya, full charge for a majority of those team fights, just being able to laser people down. And I think in this case, it was the Immortality and the tank line of DD that really showed up and took Scuff Shock out of their comfort zone.
Absolutely. You could see that Scuff Shock had been winning these fights based on this aggression that they were able to impose on their enemies, but Team DD coming in with a superior form of aggression and able to completely flip that script on its head and move on. I believe Team DD is now going to face off against Feed the Wolves in the final match before the, I guess the semifinal match of that rookie division, which there is, of course, only one spot for. So that means only one team is going to be able to advance. And right now, Team DD looking very good on that front. Let's see. Let's give a little bit of an update from around the league, if you will. Right now, BHU and Winnipeg are facing off in our intermediate division on Nepal Village. Winner of that will go on to face GG Go next. In our other intermediate section, we have Furious Feeders just now defeating SM Lunatics, now facing off against Tempo on Nepal Sanctum. If they are able to win there, the winner from there will go on to face Crazy Diamonds. But we're going to tune in to the toughest of the toughest. We are now going to the big leagues here as we go into our advanced division. This is where we're going to see the big strats. This is where we're going to see the pop-offs, you know, the 6K Torbjorn turret kills play of the game kind of things as we go in for Furious Unicorns versus King's Throw, two teams that any fan of GitGud would know.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to getting my first look at these two teams in our toughest division for this little mini tournament to get back in. Fight for redemption is very real, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to see some of this pop-off potential that we could be witnessing here. It's kind of hard on control points, but I really want to see, how much better the skill and the strategy comes into play in this upper division.
It's definitely going to, and that's not the only thing that's going to be coming to play in this division, because in the advanced division, we have 2 slots available, not just 1. So not only will the winner of this division be able to advance, but so will the team that has the longest win streak. So if you can win more games and then you get knocked out towards the end, that's okay. At the end of the day, as long as you have the most wins in that division, you're going to go ahead and go on to those playoffs.
Absolutely, and I think that's a very fair deal for the higher division, the higher elo here, if you will. So, I mean, we're about to get into game. Do we want to speculate not only who's going to win, but what kind of compositions are we going to see here in the upper echelon?
Okay, see how many heroes we can get correct. I'm down for that one. I'm going with Furious Unicorns.
Okay.
Not only because their name is amazing, but I think that Leoxicon is he's one of my favorite players in the GitGud universe. I think he's a joy to watch. So I'm very hopeful that Leoxicon is going to be able to shine through for Furious Unicorns.
I mean, they've got a Canadian flag being shown on King's Throw, so I was actually going to choose them just based off of that, since that is my home country.
Okay.
Momo repping the maple flag, and I'm absolutely down for that because that's where I was raised for the first 12 years of my life. So I always love to see the Canadian flag repping.
Yeah, plus they've got 3 Dallas Fuel icons, so I can't really support King's Throw. Great name, but y'all need to, maybe look at the standings or find a different icon to use when you're in my lobbies. Just say, I mean, not that I own the lobby. I'm getting a little high on my horse here, but the sentiment is there, and it's going to be on the internet forever, and they can know it.
I'm a Fuel fan. I'm sorry. They're the closest team to me, and I like them. I like the team. I've always liked the team since the Owl League came out, so I actually rock a Fuel player icon myself sometimes if I'm not rocking the Maple Leaf.
Well then. Things Steidel just learned about Billy. Not that it changes my not that it changes my outlook on you in any way, shape, or form. Not at all. Not at all.
We could do this offline if you want. We could absolutely do this offline, but let's get the focus back on the game. Our gentleman's bet 2-3. We're going to Shrine in Nepal. And
I'm taking Furious Unicorns.
All right. And look at this. Dive
indeed. That's my team right there, man. Furious Unicorns. Look at that. They're coming up with the dive. They're giving us what we want. I'm also excited to see the Doomfist Orisa matchup, especially when you get to these higher echelons of play. You get the Meteor Strike mixed in with the halt punches, all sorts of really, really inventive tech between those 2 heroes.
Indeed, and I'm just looking for the double shield to do double shield things. And having the Lucio, we talked about it a lot tonight, getting there on the point first is going to be what can win you the first progress of the point.
Bit of a downside to the support line, however, coming out from Furious Unicorns, as that dive getting past the Orisha shield makes Dr. Kills completely useless in that engagement. Not able to get to the front line for any healing at all due to that Orisha shield.
Indeed, and getting the anti-nades in there as well. Oh my God, what a punch onto Dr. Kills. Chicken 25 just laying into the poor granny, as I heard it called in another cast that I did. They call Ana granny, especially across the pond. I really want to see, though, how are they going to get past the double shielding of this team? It's going to be a difficult ask in the least.
Yeah, they're not going to change up much other than their DPS lineup, putting Osiris onto that Doomfist. They're going to go ahead and go back in for another fight, but 83% up to a Meteor Strike. Chicken is going to be proving to be a formidable foe. Busy able to find the first kill, but immediately answering back. Clingy going to find one as well, and with that Coalescence, going to be very difficult for Furious Unicorns to answer back as King's Throw continues to find themselves in the kill feed. That Pulse Bomb, however, finding Chicken is a big game changer. There's the Primal Rage coming out from Chaos to keep things rolling for Furious Unicorns in this engagement. They finally get the point back, and they only have to give up 43%.
Indeed, and I mean, that's a good amount of progress for their first capture of the point, and now 44% on the board for them. And I want to say, you know, what I'm seeing from the tank line especially, they're not coalescing together. They're not watching the flanks, and, you know, Dr. Kills is getting a lot of value from the Ana because the shielding is just not where it needs to be.
Oh man, Nano boosted Doomfist right in the middle of your team comp is not what you want to see. There goes the Meteor Strike to keep himself safe and out of danger. He finds a couple of members, but they're able to vacate the high ground just in time, but not in time to get away from the Fist. Chaos going to be taken down by Chicken there in the initial engagement as he continues to go on a rampage looking to help his dead-eyeing McCree, who finds the baby diva there at the very end. You know, it's not very often you get the chance to use a Deadeye just to kill the baby diva.
Indeed, and now the capture has gone back over to them, and I really liked what I saw there. Using the Deadeye, not only to zone people from trying to progress back onto the point, but, you know, killing Pilot Diva with a Deadeye, kind of an overuse. But, I mean, it was good for what it was. Chicken, though, putting up some real good numbers on the Doomfist here. I like the aggression being shown by him. I need to see a little bit more orbs coming out from Clingy Orca to keep him up, because he seems to be dropping every once in a while.
Oh wow, Chaos getting into the back line, even in that Primal Rage form, losing so much health. As their Gravitic Flex from Fontaine goes ahead and gets thrown in. But the Primal Rage is going to find one. Busy going to find one too. There's a third there going in for Furious Unicorns, and they're continuing to whittle them down. The dive being successful multiple times. They just have to find a way to keep the point.
Indeed, and an 81%, I mean, that's going to be a hard ask here. It's almost Final Fight territory. We're going 70% of normal tick, so the ticks are going a little bit slower. I think there might be time for them to get back and take care of this power play that's been gained by taking out the Tracer.
Speaking of power play, Chaos going to receive the nano boost there from kills, but still the kills are going to be coming in for King's Throw. Nano boost able to put Chaos 80% to that Primal Rage, and a Pulse Bomb from Busy is going to be big. Fontaine and Alfredo both getting decimated.
Oh man, that was an excellent Pulse Bomb being shot out there by DX, and Chaos has another Primal Rage on board. Momo may be able to start this next engagement with a sound barrier, being able to get past some of the shielding and abilities that are being thrown out by the healers from Unicorns.
That sound barrier going to be an absolute necessity. But it looks like they're going to opt for a different engagement, going over to the opposite side, somewhere where the Doomfist might not be able to hide as easily. Tries to get the punch out, misses the Sigma by just a hair, but puts himself into a tricky situation. Osiris now low on health, has to retreat for healing. And Ana in the corner able to help him out of the Primal Rage, knocking Lin off of the map. Japan as well, finding themselves a kill. And now, 80%, things are looking good for Furious Unicorns.
Indeed, I mean, you know, the Primal Rage being probably the least of the tank ults that we have here. Leoxicon on the Diva is going to have the self-destruct to really negate any kind of push onto the point. Fontaine may be able to do something with it. Chicken's going to go ahead and invest it.
The beautiful combination of Osiris and Busy on this DPS lineup have been absolutely crucial. Didn't land anything with the Pulse Bomb, but was able to help out with Osiris getting that initial pick onto the Moira, and now the two of them just parading across the point and finding kills. Chaos getting the kill onto Momo in the very back line there, and Busy finding the better half of Lin on this Tracer as Furious Unicorns blazes their trail on the way to victory. 99% and only a couple of respawns to mitigate.
Indeed, and I mean, this is going to really spell the end. I don't know what they can do to actually get any kind of progress on here. It's just tag in, tag out. And I think that's going to call it a day. I go down now in our gentlemen. Going down in our gentlemen's fight for the first time tonight. I'm not happy with this.
Title 3-3, Billy 2-4.
Oh my goodness, not happy on the Canadians' end here. Let me tell you. But I mean, Dive won out versus Double Shield, and that's the real big story here.
That is. That's the real victory. We both win there.
We both win there because we got to see a absolutely perfectly constructed dive. They got in, got the cleave damage. The anti-nades coming in from Unicorn's Ana player, absolutely huge. Getting around the double shield just to get that in is a feat in itself.
Dr. Kill was doing some pretty insane stuff on that Ana.
Absolutely, and the damage mitigation from Liaxicong too on the Diva, absolutely keeping their team up in the mid-fight.
Yeah, and Furious Unicorns, they will go on to face off against the Happy Campers, who are going to be a formidable opponent. I can guarantee you that. Sadly, however, we are not going to be following the Furious Unicorns in their adventure. We are going to be heading off to what I believe is our first final of our event today. We're getting towards the end of things, ladies and gentlemen. After this game, the only games that you will see will be finals matches. Any game from here on out will be deciding the team or teams that will be advancing into the playoffs. First up, I believe we have... Yeah, we're gonna have Compass Gold. They're the highest seeded team in the beginner division, the division we have not gotten to see play yet today. And we're currently just waiting on the results between the OSU Orange and the Cleaning Supplies matchup. So we're going to see if it's going to be OSU Orange or Cleaning Supplies facing off against Compass Gold in our beginner final for this fight for redemption. We're in the final.
Excited. We're getting there. We're getting there. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right along.
It looks like the tortoise will win the race today for us, at least. Let's talk about what we've seen all night today, though. That was our first full dive composition that we saw come out. Mm-hmm. And, you know, despite the early take, Unicorns sticking with it, staying with what they wanted to really present on the battlefield, and they came out with a pretty easy win once they took over the point.
Yeah, it was really a fine example of watching a team have a composition, they know what their win condition is, and then adapting. You saw in that first engagement the way that they went in, you know, it separated the Ana from the rest of the team, and they paid dearly for it. They lost that initial fight, but coming into the next fight, they made sure to position themselves so that when the dive did happen, the Ana had the sight lines needed to help out the team. So, you know, there's that. And then also on there, after they took the point, they lost it immediately with the retake that came in from King's Throw. And then the following time when they were able to get the point, they changed the way that they defended and were able to continue holding.
I mean, the aggression coming out from their Winston player, the ability to jump out, throw a bubble down, you know, let Tracer do what Tracer did. Osiris on the Doomfist was a force to be. It was a treat, but he was a force of nature. I mean, getting in, getting the assassination, and getting back out to the healing arms of Dr. Kills. That Ana player was absolutely on point.
Yeah, and not to mention that, of course, Oasis had the backing of the Tracer player, who was doing a great job of flanking and staying hidden until that seismic slam hit or until that uppercut landed, so they could pop in, pepper in the needed damage, and then pop out.
Yeah, I mean, we love to see that from all the teams that we've seen tonight. It's been a very good night of competition, Stridel. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break as we wait to see who is going to be facing off in our rookie division. But we will be back with you. Beginner. In our beginner division, we will be back with you in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away.
Hey guys, Title24 and Billy, and we are back with our finals for our fight for redemption. We're going to be kicking things off in the beginner division and then slowly running up the ladder. So we're going to start things off with Compass Gold facing off against Cleaning Supplies, and we have a slight update about our gentleman's wager.
We do. We have decided, instead of picking the team that we want to win before the match, I have decided that I am choosing nothing but red teams throughout all the finals.
And I will be taking all of the blue teams. So we've left it up to the RNG gods to see which one of us will be tweeting humiliation.
I have a feeling you're going to go down in a heap of flames, Steidel.
Well, you know which map I would be okay with going down in a heap of flames at the moment? Lijiang Night Market, which is where we're going to be going again. Ladies and gentlemen, we have become quite comfortable with.
It's indeed true. As you know, we have seen this particular map, I think 5 or 6 times tonight already. Jeff, if you're listening out there, you really need to get the randomizer on this map to give us Garden or Control Center. But we're going to go ahead and stay with the Night Market. So, Symmetras, we've seen a lot of them tonight.
We're going to have them again. I mean, it's pretty much, it's an integral tech for getting to the point first, getting position. And, you know, this may be the beginner division. This may be, you know, the lowest ELO that we offer as a competitive state, but that doesn't mean that they're not attuned to compositions. So I think we are going to find some matches, but maybe not.
Maybe not. Indeed, it looks like we're going to have Ryan and Roadhog coming out from Cleaning Supplies to be bolstered up with a Doomfist and Pharah.
You know what they say, life is crazy. So is the beginner division. You get to get away with a little bit more here, and the compositions get to get a little bit crazier.
Yeah, and not looking good for the red team here of Cleaning Supplies as the main tank goes down in a heap, but nobody's capturing the point yet.
Nope, looking to win the fight before going to the point. Cleaning Supplies leaving their fire to just kind of pepper in damage, up to 67% of that ultimate. So, you know, Cleaning Supplies not completely at odds. They do have a bit of an advantage. There's the Pharah versus the Ashe. Able to find Mahan there at the very end. Mahan promising a 6K to his fans earlier in Twitch chat and not being able to follow through just yet. UK Champion has the barrage online, able to use it. There's one, there's two, looking for a third. Able to find it with the direct rocket.
That is a nice amount of positioning coming out of MK Champion on the Pharah. Really just going into the back line, and nobody turned around to notice that there was a Pharah raining rockets and then the barrage upon their heads. That's not a very good hold there if you're Compass Gold coming in here. And they've played some games, so let's see how this turns out.
So many ultimates online right now for Cleaning Supplies. As they're able to, or no, sorry, as they get taken down a notch at the beginning of the fight. 2 kills, the big shatter coming out. The kills, or the healing, however, just not there. Now Roadhog on point left to fight against a Doomfist and a Moira. Moira being able to be the slippery snake that she is and stay alive and allow for her Doomfist to dish out the damage.
Well, this may be a back and forth seesaw battle to see who is going to get in to the playoffs here for the GitGud champion or playoffs. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think that the Doomfist might need to switch here if you're Cleaning Supplies, because you're getting lapped almost by Nuclear from Compass Gold.
Oh, an MK Champion now at 100% to that barrage, looking for another big ultimate. Able to find one, able to find two. And now MK Champion cleaning things up. Cleaning Supplies staying true to their name. Able to keep things in their favor, but 42% up. This is not going to be an easy win for either team.
Indeed not, but you're looking at Sound Barrier and Bob available to aggress onto this point. Maybe throwing in the Butler from a position from outside and start the contest with the Butler, and then bringing the Shatter down behind that.
And now Undercover Steve going to use that Sound Barrier as an initiation tactic, and it's going to pay off in the first 2 kills. There's a third one for Undercover Steve, and now the kills flooding in Even a Shatter getting taken out there at the end. Davila not able to do much with the Shatter as he got killed right after that landed on the ground.
I think that was a panic ult. To be quite fair, I think that they felt the pressure and maybe shattering and trying to get a charge into it. But I like the positioning coming out of Joshua here, using the architecture to best effect, holding the Shatter in hand, waiting for the right moment to strike.
And you know, if you hold that for too long, you're just gonna get caught up. So you really do need to make sure that you're not only looking for that advantage, but making that space. Look at that play. Nuclear able to find Ganba Ruby there at the very end, but Life is Crazy going nuts, finding 2 with that whole hog.
Indeed, and I mean that's the point, to get on the objective and start flipping this over. I think that you might need to bring the Pharah in there to help clean up the mess.
Well, with that barrage online, the champion definitely has exactly what they need to deter this next attack. Respawns are going to continue to trickle in, and this will get them a little bit of control percentage and force out the barrage as well from MK Champion. It is going to find 2 kills, but not necessarily needed, as the fight was a 3v6.
Indeed, but I think that they just need to get it out of the way and really clear the point, because the contest percentage is still going up for Compass Gold here, as they have not flipped the point over. If you're cleaning fights, they just now clipped it over. They got about an extra 15 percentage points by not cleaning up the point, and this is last fight territory if you're cleaning supplies.
Yeah, the retake here pretty much spells your success and your advancement, but all of these early picks and a bit of a sloppy early engagements is really hurting them in the long run. They're both going to lose a DPS member, but Breaking Rad quickly going to the switch to the Tracer to make sure that they can get back to the point to support their team. Life is Crazy finding an early kill as the coalescence from both sides duel it out on the point. MK with another barrage, able to find Joshua. And Davila able to keep their team with a solid hold on the point.
Indeed, and I really like what I'm seeing going on. The switch to the Tracer, even though they got deleted right away, I think that getting the speed, getting the distraction in there is what's really going to keep this percentage going up. I think the barrage there, taking down the main tank, ensures that they keep the point, and it calls for a retreat for Compass Gold. And I mean, we're coming up. This has got to be the last fight. They're going to go ahead and invest the sound barrier to start this off.
Oh, and Vahan as well, coming in from downtown with that Bob, but by the time Bob gets to the point, Breaking Rad has already made his presence known. Finding 2 into the backline, Vahan's Bob is able to find a couple of kills, but with a Resurrect in their pocket, even with losing their Pharah, Compass Gold able to keep themselves in the upper hand now on the point. They have pushed cleaning supplies off. Now they just have to deal with the healers and the pesky Tracer, and at 94%, this could be it. They have a Death Blossom on the verge. The Hammond, of course, there for a little bit of an extra stall, but it's really just dealing with that one pesky respawn. There you go, there's that point switch.
Indeed, I mean, this is definitely the death throes of it. D.Va being able to get onto the line, Life is Crazy, getting on there, getting the overtime wit burning, and I mean, looking at SCR, popping the Valkyrie, needs to get up in the air, but is going to be eventually just dealt with.
Yeah, and with that Death Blossom coming out from Nuclear, that pretty much seals the deal and puts the final nail into the coffin. As long as they can kill this Lucio with haste, which they're able to do, that overtime ticker will be ticked down completely. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Compass Gold able to continue to win their fight for redemption and go on to our GG playoffs.
Indeed, and I thought that the Pharah pick coming out of cleaning supplies was going to be the nail in the coffin. Really, they didn't do much to deal with the Pharah, but
no, MK was left alone in the skies.
They really just decided that, we're going to ignore the Pharah and take care of the other 5 members of your team, which they did very handily. It was a very hotly contested point, though, and I really like that from both teams. They just never gave up in the end. But looking at it, Compass Gold is going to be your winner here in the rookie division, and going to
you as well. That's one for you as well. Because they were the red team.
The red team won?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
blue
who
team
won? Aha,
You
I'm trying to
won.
give you points. That's my points. Give it back. All right.
I'm a gentleman. I honor the
All
bet.
right. That's fair. That's fair. I'm apparently blind.
Oh, it's not looking good for
colorblind
me.
at least.
It's not looking good for me either as I go down 2-5 in our gentleman's bet. You go to 4-3 now, and I may have chosen the wrong color. Should have gone with my favorite color.
Well, blue is mine. Ever since Red versus Blue came out, I've always chosen blue over red. I identify with the blue team a little better. But we are going to be moving on to our next matchup, which is our finals for the rookie division now, picking it up a notch. I think we are still waiting on the matchup there. We are slowly climbing just to update you guys on things that are going on in the other divisions. It looks like one of our teams is going to be either Grouts Gamers or the Limit Break Gaming in our finals for the rookie division. As far as our finals for the intermediate division, our 4 teams in the semifinals are Winnipeg and SapG Esports, as well as Tempo versus Crazy Diamonds. The winners of those 2 matches will be facing off, of course, in the finals. And it looks like we're still waiting for a couple of results in our advanced division. But we're going to go ahead and get these players into lobbies and set everything up for you guys. Don't go anywhere. We still have 4 final matches to get to. welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our next finals matchup in the fight for redemption. I'm Style24, and I am joined by the wonderful Chef Billy. Now, we are moving into our rookie division, which is a step above beginner, and we have Team DD facing off against
Limit Break.
Limit Break, right. I was trying to find their spot and their record in the lineup. It looks like Limit Break right now is riding a 4-game winning streak, whereas Team DD only on, I think, a 2 or a 3. But based on our gentleman's agreement, I will be in support of Team DD, and you are, of course, there for Limit Break Gaming.
Indeed, and we did see Team DD in one of our previous matches tonight. It was about 2 matches ago, I think.
Yes, we got to see Team DD face off against VCG, I believe. No, against Scuff Shock.
Scuff Shock, yeah. They took down my Scuff Shock. I thought that they were going to have a nice run going into the playoffs here, but apparently not. So we have this for our finals, Team DD versus Limit Break. And what we saw from Team DD, we had, I believe, the Ana. And
yes, Team DD had the Ana as well as Why Not on the Reinhardt, who was an absolute stellar play there last time around.
Indeed, a lot of Reinhardt doing Reinhardt things, being very enabled by the support core to go ahead and get in there and just swing with impunity. We love to see it. We also saw, I think, a Genji coming out of them, if I remember correct. I know that SDK Summer played the Echo a lot, and I believe it was on Night Market that we saw them getting a lot of value on that. The duplicate wasn't as good as they may have wanted to have it, but I think it was more to duplicate and keep yourself alive and then get back into the Echo form.
Well, as we head into Lijiang Tower and not Night Market, we're going to be kicking things off. Both teams currently showing the Symmetras.
4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1.
Let's see what we get. Neither team, however, using the teleport out of spawn tactic. Just going to go ahead and foot it all the way to the point. Oh, using that teleport to get up and through that wall, that window. But that was a huge mistake because Limit Break was just waiting under that window.
Yeah, they were. And I mean, they destroyed that teleporter really quickly as well. So not really able to get their full team on there. The pin coming out of Alex, though, is what really set that off. And then Daedalus just having his way with the hyperspheres. Yeah, this is going to be a hotly contested match. I think Talorant, is going to go ahead and swap over to the Reaper. So you're going to have a Pharah Reaper bringing the damage in. And I like this kind of rotation that they're going to take, bringing the fight from 2 angles.
Gotta use the pincer move whenever you can. However, these Symmetra turrets on point, gonna be made quick work of, but they get enough damage and enough distraction to allow chaos to set in. Alex as well finding a double kill as Limit Break has another substantial hold.
Indeed, and I mean, look at the ultimate economy coming up. Falco Drac with the nano boost. I think you're going to want to pump that into Chaos to really get the ultimate economy going up for their Reaper. However, I mean, they're falling way behind as far as ultimate economy. Nothing up on the board for the side from Team DD. And you've got a photon barrier that's going to deny a lot of damage coming in.
Yeah, and with those Symmetra turrets up, Pharah are going to have an extremely difficult time finding entrance frags or any way to get into the point and into the fight. You see the barrage come in from SDK. It does find Alex there at the very end as Chaos gets the best on his counterpart, Talorant, on the Reaper. Now with that photon barrier on the point, they have some extra shielding that they need. In the back line, however, SDK getting kind of left behind.
Indeed, but I mean, I like the aggression being shown here by SDK, getting on the point. Unfortunately, losing life, and a Death Blossom coming out from Chaos picks up 2. You love to see that.
You love to see it indeed, especially because it allows you to save so many ultimates.
Agreed. So what we're going to look for coming in from this next fight, I think that Team DD really, gosh, you're pulling out the Bastion on Gardens, Nani.
What? Let's see if they're able to set SDK up. Definitely a strategy that we have not seen yet today. Shatter available. There goes the Amplification Matrix and the Valkyrie for Team DD as they desperately fight to try and get this point back. They have a couple of kills, but a sound barrier from Malice Knight is going to allow them to stay in this fight. Bastion now getting into the Immortality Field and on to the point, the damage being dealt. Photon Barrier keeping a couple of Symmetra's turrets alive. It looks like just dealing with this Lucio should deal with a point take, but the respawns are going to warrant a little bit more action, but the nano boost from Falco gets used.
Oh my goodness, I mean, 95% gain by the side from Limit Break there. I kind of question the Bastion move, but I mean, if you're going to pour all of your resources into said hero, you're going to get a lot of value out of it. Talorant coming up very close onto a Death Blossom. I want to see a sleep from Falco Drake. I want to see what they do to counter the Bastion here.
It also looks like they're positioning SDK in such a fashion that if they try and use that teleporter in through the window strategy, he'll be there to just kind of destroy it. So Shawanda gonna go ahead and recognize that the Symmetra no longer viable. We'll be switching over to another hero that we haven't seen much of tonight, Junkrat.
Indeed, and I mean, I love the Junkrat pick. I think the tire would be something that is going to be needed to dislodge the Bastion. If you can even get the tire in on him when he's in turret form, obviously pumping out so much damage. But the ultimates, I mean, you're going to have tank configuration. You're going to have Death Blossom online.
A lot of ultimates. You know, that Earth Shatter as well as the Valkyrie, the Amplification Matrix. Man, words, names, things, English. It's very difficult right now for me. But you know it's not difficult? Death Blossoms. Press Q, watch your Reaper spin in a circle, and the kill feed becomes yours. Talorant able to find his way into a much-needed spot in the kill feed. However, SDK going to be committing a very late tank configuration.
Yeah, a bit. I mean, I think they wanted to really secure the fight win there and send everybody back to spawn as they're closing in on 65% of ultimate char or of capture progress. This Shatter needs to land in a way that it takes SDK out of the picture. Where can they line up to get this off and not allow him to just sit there and just rain hell into him?
Well, they're going to start things off with a Shatter, but the Shatter is just a distraction as the Reaper comes in the back with the Death Blossom, finding SDK out. The Graviton now to keep the entire team together with a Nano Boost onto Alex, keeping him barely alive. But not for long. Why not finding a double kill and putting DD one step closer to finding their way into the playoffs.
Indeed, I mean, this is absolutely going to be final fight territory, however you put it. Daedalus needs to get this Gravitic Flux up. It needs to be huge, and they need to really combo the tire underneath of it.
That tire going to be an ultimate that is imperative in this fight, and they're going to go ahead and commit it onto the back of this Gravitic Flux. It's going to find the Immortality Field, so that's not going to be too advantageous for them, but Daedalus finding SDK Summer means a big amount of DPS for Team DD is no longer in the equation, and so is in most of their team, and that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. 99% built up for Team DD before they lose control to Limit Break, and nobody is there for the overtime touch.
Oh my goodness, Limit Break coming out with the huge Shatter there in the end and the sound barrier to keep everybody up. That is what you love to see. It was, I mean, as close as you like. Man, Limit Break stamping their ticket into the playoffs.
And that's another team that's very happy to see themselves moving on to what's going to be a very difficult battle once they get into the playoffs, but a very hard-earned position there with Limit Break Gaming. I believe they're going to, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 5-game win streak to put themselves into the playoffs.
I mean, you love to see it. I mean, that's, we were talking about this in one of our breaks. When we get to this level of where the seedings are at, it's really based off of map points. So the skill level may not be as wide as the earlier rounds may have been, but still 5 matches in a row for Limit Break to stamp their ticket into the playoffs. That's a pretty impressive feat.
An impressive feat indeed. And as we move into our next division, which is going to be our intermediate division, we're upping the skill level once again, guys. We are going to have Tempo versus SapG Esports. SapG Esports, the highest seeded in Group A, and Tempo was the second highest seeded in Group B, only on a 2-game win streak currently. So both teams were just a hair away from getting into the playoffs originally, and now we're going to be able to see whether or not they'll be able to push themselves into the playoffs. Of course, sticking with our colors, you get to stay claim to Tempo, and I will take SapG Esports. Or wait, no, I'll take Tempo. You take SapG Esports.
Okay, I'll take it. Just to let everybody know what we're talking about right now, in case you were just joining us, we have a gentleman's bet. Steidel and I, we have decided that first of all, we were going to pick teams who we
We're
want
going to
to
do predictions.
we're going to have predictions going out there, and now we've decided that we're just going to choose the color.
Yeah, let RNG.
Who gets blue? Who gets blue? Who gets red? You're up 4-4 right now.
Woo!
I'm at 3 and 5.
Woo!
I
Let's
think
go.
the color
Team's
picking.
title.
I think the color pick for me was wrong, but going into this now, I mean, the 1 seed versus the 2 seed from both the separate groups.
Yeah.
I think SapG takes this because they have a kitty cat for their player icon.
And they are much more organized in the lobby, I will say that, and they do have the kite there. But I don't know. I think Tempo's gonna take it. There's something about donning that blue armor when going into battle that really helps you be the better team.
So getting into this, when we finally get into this, I mean, I think that's going to be a heck of a battle. And as we hear in our ear, we're going to be going to Nepal and Shrine.
Yeah.
Are you going to get your Hammond starter pick yet?
There's 3 maps left. There's 3 matches left, and I have yet to get my Hammond.
We did get full dive though once tonight.
We did get full dive, and we got our double shield. I got to see Torbjorn, so it's not all, rainy days, but boy, could a Hammond really cheer me up.
Indeed, I think so as well. I want to see him come out starting. I think using him on Shrine here, probably one of the better points to use him as a main tank or an off tank, depending on what you decide to use him as.
Very, very true. I'm trying to think if there's any crazy compositions that we might get to see here on Shrine. Because now that we've stepped into the intermediate division, we completely get like a different echelon of skill. So you get different puzzle pieces fitting together.
We
I'm
haven't
trying
seen
to
a
think
lot
of
of
what I could throw with that Hammond to make it not only viable but also completely nutty.
Throw a Sombra in there.
The Sombra Hammond, okay.
Sombra Hammond.
You would do Sombra Hammond Widowmaker. And then like Roadhog. Let's put Roadhog in there, and then.
Are you gonna run like a Briggs
What
Den
are
for
our
support?
supports? I think we go Anazen.
Anazen.
OG.
Okay. I mean, that's as outlandish as you like. I think that we're going
Outlandish. Those are my competitive comps.
Same.
Oh, I wish I was
Same.
lying. I do wish I was lying, but I am not.
It happens on console too.
Just D-rank to gold.
Oh my goodness, that's what I see all the time. I see. I usually get Lucio Zen as my healer core, and I ask for a main healer,
How
and
fun.
then I get the expletives being shouted in my ear. So looking
Nothing
like a little bit of a
massive lack of burst healing to help you out in your fight.
We're seeing the Hanzo for the first time tonight, though. That is something that has changed. Maybe
Okay.
not debated either.
Not debated at all. Wiz Muffin going to be switching off to the Doomfist after using that teleporter to get his team out, and that does mean that Sab G is going to be able to get to the point first. They're going to be able to get their positioning, and that is a big deal in this initial fight. Oh, Dry going to get the first kill on a Ramsey, and now Sab G being extremely aggressive as they got the first 2 kills, sounding the battle horn.
Indeed, I mean, that's early capture from them. Also, lots of ultimate charge going into the mix of that. Looks like Axel's going to go ahead and swap over to the Mei, and Kaphasis is going to swap to the Reaper. So we're going to get a Mei Reaper comp here with Ryan Zarya.
I like the fact that they immediately recognized that the double shield composition was not going to be effective against the Doomfist, and decided to go with something that will. Ooh, but the Doomfist dropping down behind. They need to be careful of those corners. Wizmuffin helping Dry up at yard. Grab that first kill onto Duckling as Kaphasis tries to get something done on this Reaper, but an early window from Biden is going to allow them to just tear through Tempo. Safety laying down a shatter that's a bit misplaced and could spell their doom. However, there's not enough bodies on point right now for for Sap G Esports. Tempo going to take the point.
Indeed, and Tempo does take it. Not yet. Looks like they're getting there, but there we go. There's the flip finally as Zaxter takes out Drawfyar on the Hanzo. Ultimate battle right now. I mean, we've seen both Shatters come out early in the fights trying to secure positioning and space, but not really getting much done behind both of them. I'm going to look for what Ember does once they get this Graviton Surge. Are you going to combo the dragons into it, or are you going to do a little bit of Space Jam?
I'd love to see Space Jam. We haven't gotten to see that exact combination just yet. They have to be careful because Zaxter does have this sound barrier. There goes the Meteor Strike now into the back line. A good ice block to keep the Lucio safe as Ransley gets the first kill onto Wizmuffin. Roll's going to grab his better part in Duckling, and now without a Reinhardt, it's a difficult situation for for Tempo, as Sap G continues to get kills, but Kaphasis finds a triple kill on the Reaper, and although there's a Sonic Arrow to end his rampage, it's just a Hanzo on point. So Tempo going to keep the beat and keep the point.
Well, that's a bit of a prophetic choosing of different meta for the DPS combo there. You know, Kaphasis coming out with a 3K Death Blossom, and then Axel getting 2 dome shots with the icicles and ending any kind of a push there coming from Sap G, and they're about to be at 50%. Look at the bevy of ultimates on Tempo's side. Man, this is going to be a hell of a fight.
Oh, and a window into their souls as both Baps use their amplification matrix. There goes the Shatter out onto the side as more kills are coming in for Sap G than for Tempo, but they have a sound barrier to keep themselves alive. The Shatter falling on deaf ears as more kills continue to trade. However, the body advantage definitely for Sap G as Tempo being sent back to spawn at 63%.
Now, the good thing that you saw there, I mean, Ultimate's obviously invested from both sides, but Axel holding on to the Blizzard, I think is where the next amount of aggression coming from Tempo is really going to come from. I think that, you know, if you get a wall, you get some separation, you might not even have to drop the Blizzard. But I want to watch and see where Wizmuffin goes with this McCree as he swapped off the Doomfist. Is he going to be able to get the flank around?
Oh, the Blizzard coming out, and it's going to spell doom for the Zarya. Ember not able to stay alive. However, as a 1v1, Tempo not able to really progress on to the point as confidently as they once were. The Faces, however, going to change that story with the help of Capital as they find another couple of kills and more purchase onto the point. 64% in building, but doesn't look like Sap G is going to be able to continue to hold the point.
Indeed, I mean, this is going back and forth as, ultimates come online. We're seeing the aggression be ratcheted up just ever so slightly by the teams. Ransley, I think, winning the Zarya war right now, especially with the bubble management that I've seen out of this player. I want to see Grav into a Blossom.
Good move there at the end, just kind of line of sighting that window. Shatter from Duckman is able to find the Zarya, but nothing else. The damage is there to take him out, but at the risk of his own life, the expense of his own life. The Graviton is not there. There's no follow-up damage, but the Shatter lands onto Axel and allows Wizmuffin to find the kill. Dofyar as well finding one, and this is spelling good news for Sap G. Tempo having a bit of a struggle, but the Death Blossom there to bail them out. Once again, Kafis is able to find 3 and zoning out the McCree. Deadeye there, but with a shield and a Reaper, it's gonna be mincemeat in the future.
Oh my goodness.
Have been mitigated. It's just my beloved Hammond on the point. Dragons as well being sent from spawn to aid the Wrecking Ball, but apart from the Wrecking Ball and the Lucio, there really is not much hope on the horizon as Tempo takes the point.
I have to admit defeat at some point. I will be tweeting out the horrible tweet, as there is no mathematical way for me really to get caught back up at this point. I don't think. You go 5-4, I go down 3-6. Maybe if the last
team. We can tie it, and if we tie it, we'll both do it.
We will absolutely both do it, and I will shave my beard off too.
I will not commit.
You don't have to. But still,
8 months of cultivation.
I really liked what I saw from the DPS line here. I mean, Kephasis and Axel in the DPS roles, once they realized that they were not going to be able to contend with the tank line of Sap G, they went to the May Reaper comp, and immediately the fights were turned in their favors. The CC was absolutely real. Kephasis being able to drop 3 multiple
Massive.
Death Blossom ultimates. Just absolutely massive coming out from him.
Not only absolutely massive, but absolutely crucial. And, that's the reason why his team's going on to the playoffs. And speaking of playoffs, we've got more finals action coming up as we continue into the beautiful advanced division. Now, we got to see Furious Unicorns and King's Throw face off earlier. And since then, King's Throw ended up losing to the Happy Campers. The Happy Campers then proceeded to beat the Golden Griffins as well as the Tactical Feeders to put themselves into the finals versus Devious. So Happy Campers running a 3-game win streak into the finals.
Now, we're in the advanced division, correct?
Yeah.
So is this the division that they have 2 open spots?
35 plus. Yes, they have 2 open spots. So I think actually both of these teams. Yeah, both of these. Oh, wait, no. Hold on a second. We have to do our second. No, I'm right. Yeah, both of these teams will advance. So this is kind of just a consolation scrim to see who gets the higher seed in the playoffs, I guess.
Outstanding. The voice of our production staff behind us, by the way. Thank you to you both for making us look good and giving us the beautiful clean feed and giving us the information that we need to get out to our viewers out there. So, 3-game win streak was enough to get them into the playoffs, regardless of how this game ended up. So,
just fighting for a better seed at this point.
I want to see them come out with some fun comps then, since it's, it matters, but it's not as crucial as the other divisions that we were casting tonight.
Yeah. Let's see. Both teams make it regardless. Yes, they do. Awesome. Well, congratulations, Devious, Happy Campers, for making it into the playoffs. And I think there's been plenty of time for you to watch the stream and choose Wrecking Ball.
I like the earnestness that you have delivered, that plea to please bring the hamster into the game.
It's free. You're helping out a person in need. There's lots of pros to choosing the Wrecking Ball, to choosing the ham. He's cute, he's cuddly. you have a cooler play of the game than most other people with the bump bump ba. You know, don't clip that. But yeah,
Clip it.
you know, I think that Hammond can really shine here on Lijiang Tower when we go to Night Market. I mean, Control Center.
I mean,
Oh my god, we're actually getting Control Center.
we're getting Control Center.
The voices from the heavens have told us that we're actually getting Control Center. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. We have played 11 of these matches, and at least 6 of them have been Night Market. We have not seen Control Center yet.
Oh, happy, joy.
Give me Hammond. He works here really well.
He does. The emote that I want to see is the DJ, with him dancing on top of the ball. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my favorite emote out of all of his emotes.
Especially
I
if you pair the Lucio All-Star emote with it, you know. So like Lucio's DJing and Hammond's just, breaking it down.
Right. You got to have the gold. You got to have the high roller skin on too, with gold guns.
Yep. That is absolutely necessary. That's the only way that I roll Hammond when I play him. Not that anybody's happy when you see Stido24 choose Hammond in your ranked games. You're not happy to see that.
I mean, I can't wait till I actually get onto PC and be able to play Overwatch.
Come join me.
I play on Xbox right now, and actually I'm getting placed on PS4 as well. And now I'll do the triple. And
oh man, I'll have to plug in my PlayStation, boot it up, and come and play some PlayStation 4 games with you. I haven't played on PlayStation since season 10. I've been on PC since season 10, I want to say. So I am no promises.
I am scared of how I'm going to suck on PC because I have no idea of how to aim with the mouse. I barely have the skills to open my emails with a mouse. So this could either be really good or really bad as I go into it. But we're going to see Control Center.
What a beautiful map.
What a beautiful map. I love to see the pillar in the center. I love to see the universe out there. It's so nice.
Wonderful hologram.
Yes. Okay.
I'd love to have one of those in my living room. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have it as well. And I mean, just so nice. Thank you for the nice views, Airborne, who's running our observing tonight. Thank you so much for the beautiful images and giving us something beautiful to look at as we go to Control Center here. I'm super stoked.
Control Center indeed. We've got no Hammonds in the team comps. That's okay, I guess. But we are seeing the Doomfist. I expect Snickers to use the telly out of spawn and then switch back over to the Doomfist. Saja, a lot of hype for chat for them in the chat. Hype for them in the chat. And we're going to go ahead and get straight down to the brawl, and a Maywall gonna put them into a close quarters combat extremely early, and Dark Mallard is gonna be able to take Monster Robot out of the fight. Losing one of those 2 shields this early in the engagement is not what you want. So as long as you take it slow, they'll be able to find themselves in the more advantageous position.
Yeah, absolutely loving the Maywall coming out there from Steel, really denying the right side to the side from Devious, but it's just an all-out brawl developing here on the point. Shatter already in the hands of False Words. Wow, that was fast. Counter Shatter!
False Words coming out from the side with a huge Shatter. Playing 3 on their back, but a very early sound barrier from Minipone going to put them in good condition. Now Devious has the health they need, but the kills are still coming through for Happy Campers. Look at Snickers, he finds 2 already. This Doomfist is going insane. Yet another good Maywall going to allow Happy Campers, Reinhardt, Swords to keep swinging away. And first control will definitely go over to the Campers.
Indeed, I mean, just a little bit of cleanup there. There's the punch from Snickers onto Minipone. And I love just how long that brawl lasted. Nobody really wanting to relinquish control of the point. And in the end, it was a punch from a Doomfist and a little bit of healing coming out of Kip that kept him up.
And now so many ultimates on board for Happy Campers as Devious goes in for this next engagement, and using that Gravitic Flux and the Gravitic Flux alone, they're able to keep them at bay at spawn door.
Well, I mean, look at that, though. Epic Shock using the bongos to try and get themselves through the corridor here, and absolutely negated. And you got to want that one back in the pocket, because that's a game-changing ult if I ever saw one.
Game-changing ult indeed. Lotus with this Death Blossom as well, trying to get in to use something with it, but the Shatter comes in from behind. They're going to use that Blizzard as well as their Death Blossom. But it really is not a happy story for Devious, as Happy Camper continues to find their kills in the kill feed and really run the gambit here on this map.
Indeed, I think Dark Mallard has to be very judicious with how they place this amplification matrix when they finally get back to aggressing on the point. But they're going to have a sound barrier to really have to contend with. And Shoto, you know, he put out a pretty good shatter before he had an unfortunate counter shatter into his. So we'll see how he does this time.
Saja now looking to find some sort of hidden fuel to make sure that fans in chat are not disappointed. Devious now finding the kills they need for an initiation. They have to be slow about it, but not too slow about it. Doomfist now into their backline. Snickers finding Lotus in an early kill at 3 health. Is going to get taken out, but Monster Robot finds Shoto and Saja. Happy Campers still with a very firm hold on the point, and now that staggers are coming through, False Wars being unrelenting, has the Shatter, is pushing into the spawn doors, continuing to swing. There is nothing stopping this Reinhardt.
Oh my word, what an amount of aggression coming out of False Words there. I mean, didn't even use the Shatter. He had multiple opportunities to use it and just decided to keep it in his back pocket. We're crossing 90% of the progress for them, and I don't know if there's going to be anything that
Shatter is absolutely huge. False Wars able to find the entirety of Devious there. They're going to use their Gravitic Flux. They're going to use their Blizzard, but the kills are still there for, oh man, Happy Campers with a controlling, a demanding win here at their finals for the Advanced Division.
That wasn't even close, Steidel.
God, you gotta think, you know, did they sandbag it, get themselves a low seed just so they could play it up through the fight for redemption? Conspiracy theories, man. I'm just saying.
I don't know if that's the case or not, but I mean, looking at Snickers on the Doomfist, getting so much value out of it. I mean, how many times did he have the lowest of low of health, like 3 health, and still fragging out, taking a random like Lucio shot to finally take him down?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
the tanks absolutely just dominating for the side from from Happy Campers, and I mean, that's all you like.
Man, but that puts us to the precipice to going into our final of the day in a division that you've seen nothing of yet. We saved the best for last. We are going to be having our Expert Division final. We are just waiting on the definitive word on who those two teams will be. So just give us a quick little time there. It does look like Small Indie Team is in. So SIT is going to be able to advance to the Expert Division finals based off of win streak. Because I believe Reckless and A played Floof and lost, and then Floof played OW2 Waiting Room and lost. OW2 played Small Indie, who won, and Backseat played Small Indie and lost. So Small Indie, I think, gets a 2-game win streak, so they get in on win streak alone. And I believe they're facing off against Deja Vu, but don't take my word for it until we get the definitive word from our producer. We are going to go to a short break, ladies and gentlemen, so please don't go anywhere, because when we return, we've got our Expert Division finals. of you might be wondering why we're hiding our faces. It's the forever facepalm. Because although we are in such an exciting final in the expert division, we are going to a map we've gotten all too familiar with tonight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, or soon to be welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Night Market.
Oh, God. Okay. Let's put the happy faces on for us going to Night Market, as this is our highest division that we have playing tonight. And this is actually for seeding
Yes.
going into the playoffs. So this is a very impactful and very important match for these two teams. We've got Deja Vu that's going to be coming out in the blue jerseys tonight. And then we're going to have small indie team, SIT, coming out in the red. And I hope that red wins, because I'm already down to making a very embarrassing tweet because I picked unwisely.
With you, don't you?
Yeah, you're gonna end up having to tweet. I have a feeling.
So I just noticed you're wearing a red shirt with blue stripes, and I'm wearing a red or blue shirt with a red decal. So like things are coming together. Puzzle pieces are starting to.
It's salmon. It's salmon, not red.
Sorry, it's salmon, not red.
Salmon. Oh my god. So coming out here, we got looks like a little bit of double shield coming from indie team. And
oh my god, Primal.
Wait.
Oh my god, Primal. Oh
Did
my
Primal
god,
do it?
Primal.
Is it happening?
9 seconds. Come on. The final match. Ah! He broke my heart. He really did.
Oh, looks like we're gonna have two variations of double shield coming out, Junkrat. And sorry for that, coming out on the Orisa Sigma. Primal and McCaldy's coming out with the Rhine Orisa. Zonzo getting them to the point force with the Symmetra teleporter, and they're going to go ahead and get it started here.
Yeah, they got to the point with violent fashion. It really is up to now, really up to small indie to find themselves some sort of purchase onto that composition that just violently got themselves onto the point. Parzival able to find the first kill onto Heart as SIT continues to find the better of Deja Vu in this engagement, just picking them apart one by one slowly but surely. Those direct rockets are lethal, and that barrage, almost takes the cake. That barrage would have been able to clean everything up, but beautiful eyes from Boogling able to find that Pharah.
Indeed, and I mean, that was just, that would have unlocked it and really flipped that point fast. However, good eyes from Bailey, and that's a fast flip, or a fast take, and a fast denial of the flip there. Zonzo looks like they're going to have a photon barrier ready to go to start to negate some of this damage coming in.
So they're going to go ahead and commit the photon barrier as a preemptive measure, using most of the shielding area outside of the point. They have the amplification matrix, which they are going to commit, but they're not paying attention to their backline. Parzival able to just get on the ground with these rockets and find the kills that are needed to get up to another barrage. We saw them barrage at the end of the last fight. Another barrage here finds two. A pulse bomb to follow, and what a play! SIT should take this point back with no issue.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, at what cost? I mean, it cost them both of their DPS ultimates. So, you know, both support ultimates still in the back pocket for SIT. Looking to be defending up against a Blizzard coming from BY. Will, sorry for that, be able to have a snack?
We're gonna have to see. But up in the skies is Parzival once again. Let's see if Ready Player 1 or 2 is up for the fight. Yep, looks like Hart will be able to find Parzival. Primal actually looking up with that hammer and swinging to take that bird out of the sky. Zonzo getting Ronzu and Mad Cow as well, taking Junkrat out of the fight with the flanking Orisa play. But the Pharah, even though it's been lending to a lot of damage, a lot of kills, there just there's not enough point presence.
Indeed, I mean, that's an easy flip if you're Deja Vu, not really having to commit much into it. And, you know, the Blizzard absolutely aiding that. However, Zonzo and Renzuku were both squads have decided to bring out the Southern Belle with the Viper, and maybe that's going to be able to help them aggress onto this point and really take control.
Ooh, the Gravitic Flux using that to circumvent the chokehold. Is able to find Heart with a sick rock there as the Amplification Matrix gets used. So Amplification Matrix not able to do exactly what it was meant to as Parswell finds one, but the kills are still coming through right now for Deja Vu.
I mean, what a quick gain of the Blizzard by BY, launching it as soon as they attain that ultimate. And we're looking very aggressively towards this coming to be a last fight territory. Sansa's going to have the Butler to be able to contest the point should they start feeling any kind of heat and pressure coming from Indie team here.
Final fight now ensuing, 90% on the board. Deja Vu having to make this rotation to the stairs so that they're able to retreat to the point if needed. But with that Immortality field completely out of view, there's no way for a small Indie team to get back to the point. They're getting the kills they need. 99%. The overtime ticker was ticked on. So they might be able to mitigate things if they need to get members on point now, and the only thing they're doing is losing members at the moment. I finally get my Hammond from Junkrat, but it's once again a stall pick as Renzoku finds that explosive TNT kill. It's taken out by their counterpart Zonzo. Bodies on point, definitely in favor of Deja Vu at this moment, trying to break this Reinhardt shield so that they can lay waste to their opponent, but a Fire Strike takes Heart out of the fight as Boglin League takes out a counterpart in the support line as well for Deja Vu. With that big shatter coming through, that charge coming through, Primal is able to put themselves in a position to win this at 99%. This contest is all that small Indie team has to hold on to. Swinging for the Lucio in the corners, Primal looks to end this.
Indeed, I mean, looking at Parsifal, will they be able to get back and launch this barrage that they have? I don't know if they're going to be able to get there.
Oh, the Winston hitting the top of the doorway and not able to make their way onto the point.
Yeah, that was all about the stubbornness, maybe, of staying on the far that entire time. I know you got good value in the beginning of the round, but man, I think you could have gone to a Tracer, maybe a Junkrat, something with speed, something to really harass the back line of Deja Vu. I mean, the healers never really seem to be out of it, just being able to pump the healing in with reckless abandon.
And speaking of recklessness, once Deja Vu, like you said, once they had control of that point, they were really able to, they literally picked and chose where and when every single fight happened.
Indeed, and it was just that fact that they won this on their terms. I think that makes it all the more impressive. But I mean, they're both going into the playoffs regardless.
Neither of these teams is going home, with their chins towards the floor. Everybody's got their heads held high. Deja Vu and small Indie team both advancing to the expert division finals. Deja Vu does get to go in with the better seed, which they can be proud about, but you never know. Those two teams might actually end up facing off against each other again in those playoffs. But man, what a night it's been.
Indeed. I've had a wonderful time.
13 control points down, and we're still standing. I want to give a huge shout out to all of the teams. This has been a marathon for players just as much as it has been for us. These guys have been, staying online and playing for hours now. So huge ups to all of the teams. Whether you walked away with the playoff spot or not, you put it all on the table, and it shows.
Indeed. I mean, it's been a very entertaining night throughout all the divisions, from rookie all the way up to expert, and it's been a joy to cast this with you, Steidel. It's our second time getting to be together.
Yeah, I hope we get more casts together, because I do, of course, enjoy being up here on camera with you. Always having a great time. And, the other stuff's going on, guys. There's people behind us that are really making this possible. The people that don't usually get talked about as much. So I'd like to take some time out of our broadcast to give a huge thank you to our production staff, both Silencer, Lang, and Airborne, for helping produce and observe this match. And then, there's other people that help make these things work, like lobby hosts. So a huge shout out to Aiden, Vraha, Nurse Joy, Rebalanced, Pioneer, Azalea, and Navino, all for helping host these lobbies, get these teams prepared and ready so that we can do this in an orderly fashion and bring you this amazing fight for redemption.
I mean, it's been a heck of a night. And I think with that, I think it's about time to go have a celebratory cocktail or go do what you do on a Friday night.
I'm going to go watch Hamilton. But before we go and do that, where can people find you, Billy, if they want to keep up to date? Because I know chat loves you.
Yeah, indeed. But you can find me on Discord at Chef Billy77. You can search me out there. You can also find me on Instagram, Chef Billy77, and on Twitter, you can find me at Billy Da Moose.
Very nice. And of course, I am Stidle24. You can find me at that name on any platform. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, don't be toxic, and have a good evening.
Happy 4th of